stream does lag sometimes, but if you wanna follow along with the words, I would recommend for you to be came out like 30 minutes ago. I just finished chapter 6. Listen, I know a lot of people are here just to, like, see my reaction to things. If you have no context, I would suggest that you go away, that you look away, because I don't want to ruin this for you. I do not want to ruin this for you, and you should experience it on your own. I just started reading the chapter. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Like, I know Jamie is like, this is not that bad, guys. This is not that bad. They're exaggerating. Jamie, when I get you, Jamie. This will be the first time I'm near a stream without having read the chapter already. Let's fucking go blind read. Let's go. I have the chapter right in front of me, open right in front of me. I should probably. I'll just tweet out being like, I'm live. Oh, not that. No, not. I'm in my wrong account. I'm in my other professional account. Uh, Live right now. Let's go. Jesus. So I'm on chapter 13. Blind listening. So this is the Minecraft one. It is the Minecraft one, but they gotten past the Minecraft stuff. Give me that Candyfloss, chapter 13. Broken pistachios in eggnog. Now, I did something very silly, and I wrote to Jamie. I have it with me. I had it prepared. I was like, "Hey Jamie, this is a very silly question. What is a chapter? What is the chapter title? What is the food in the title?" So I get prepared for stream. So this is broken pistachios and eggnog. Jamie was just like, "Oh, they are pistachios marinated in eggnog." And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I let these marinate. They're probably going to be they won't be super crunchy. And I have more than 6. I'll read the summary. A glass of eggnog. I have the eggnog right here. I was so surprised that I was able to find eggnog this time of year, but I have it. I got eggnog. Um As soon as I start reading, I thought you'd do the food. Oh, please don't die. I won't die. A glass of eggnog, 6 pistachios broken from their shells. So there's more than 6 here because Jamie didn't tell me how many. So I just made a bunch. I'm still questioning cotton candy wrapped pickles. Hi! Oh my god, Dad Choi is here! Dad Choi is here! 6 pistachios broken from their shells, 1 escape room, 1.5 lockets. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? 3 pairs of shoes to run away from a woman in white and from your past crossed out. I'm gonna get back to this later on when the food appears. 1.5 lockets? I'm so scared. What the fuck? What do you mean? 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 Okay. And we have Sam on the YouTube. Hi, Sam. Notes. Despite the flames on Twitter, I promise this chapter isn't that bad. I consider this the dangling drop of the roller coaster, actually, right before you fall. Jamie, when I fucking get you. And also, no, I was not creative enough to make up an entire escape room. I just mashed together the last few escape rooms I've been to. And and if I accidentally spoiled those escape rooms for you, I'm so sorry, LMFAO. That's so fair. And there's an audio at the end of the chapter. I know about this. Hopefully it embedded right, lol. Thank you to 2 of my friends for recording my script and letting me edit it. It's beautifully painful, and I hope it adds to your magical experience at the end. We'll be listening to that at the end, for sure. Also, if you don't translate the Korean until you get to the end notes, trust me, or don't. Your choice. Smiley face. So there will be some Korean in this. And I will trust you, Jamie. And I won't translate in until I get to the end notes. Sorry, I literally ran here. I literally got home, like, got out of the train, ran to my apartment, Bye, Rachel. Artie, the locket is here. LMFAO locket. Where are you, locket? I am in fact here. Let's go, guys. The locket, you appeared yesterday, right? If you haven't seen the locket's tweets, go check it out. I am going crazy over the locket's tweets. Like, it's crazy. I'm gonna listen to the advice, but I want to be known I don't trust Jamie at all. Listen, I joke about the authors a lot, but I do trust them. I do trust them, and I believe that they'll do whatever serves the narrative best. Why is Aqua getting on my ass again? Why is like nothing? It's fine. Aqua has been freaking me the fuck out on Twitter. So if you don't know, Aqua is Jamie's beta reader. And there is this account that appeared. There's a roleplay account. The ant farm grew twice in size yesterday. And there's an account for Rumi's chauffeur. And Aqua started interacting with Rumi's chauffeur, being like, we're gonna get back to what did they say? What the fuck? Being like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what is this conversation? What is going on in this? Aqua and Ruby chauffeur interaction has, girl, me too! I'm so stressed. I'm like, what? What? I'm watching that account. I'm watching that fucking account. We'll come back to this. Exactly. That's what they said. Oh my god. Let's get started, y'all. Kate, I don't know if you're at work right now. Are you listening to this at work? I barely use Twitter. I'm never caught up with the accounts. Everyone at this point has me stressing bullets. Cade, you're so funny. Please don't go bald. Let's just get started. We're starting with the talk show already. You're serious? The talk show host asks incredulously, laughing between his breaths. You actually stepped on his feet? I did, he admits. The other talk show host keels over with laughter, and his mic picks up faint traces of it. Rumi is turning red on the TV screen. Not a lot, you know, but there were enough times that after we wrapped up in filming, people on set were calling me, go on, the host urges eagerly. He's metaphorically and physically on the edge of his seat, and Mira tries not to scoff while watching. Princess toes, Rumi mumbles under her breath. Her sensitive mic catches it though, and she hides her face in her hands as the two hosts burst out laughing at the declaration. One of them is even hitting the desk in his laughter, and Mira tries, as she had been for the last eyes. It wasn't that funny. Though when Rumi had told her that story a couple years ago while they were intertwined in bed, panting and covered in sweat, Mira had laughed just as loud as the hosts did. Maybe louder. She blames it on the post-coital feelings. Problems and issues. Problems and issues. A cat presses itself against Mira's knee. Mira gives it a nice scratch under the chin. Zoe giggles while she teases two ginger cats with a toy. They're batting at it, and one jumps a good few inches to try and reach for it. But Zoe is faster, and she yanks the toy up in time for the poor cat to thump against the ground. Mira presses her lips together to keep from laughing. One of the ginger cats runs straight into the small table next to them. It wobbles Zoe's drink, eggnog with pistachios mixed into the drink. Nothing like breaking good old eggs into a cup and mixing them with something nutty to wake you up. But Mira juts out her long leg fast enough to right the table. So the whole thing about the eggnog with the pistachios is that it's supposed to absorb the pistachios flavor. Does it even, it doesn't even make a difference. This is so funny. Jimmy, what? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Father Troy. I'm so confused. Why? Let me add more eggnog to this. Jamie just told me pistachios marinated in eggnog. I didn't know that it was supposed to be in a glass. So I feel lied to. We're gonna add more eggnog to this. And we're gonna sip on it. This is gonna be our little beverage, okay? Little bevy. And I'm gonna eggnog soup. I mean, it's good. It's eggnog. I'm just so confused. Why add the pistachios don't do anything? Hi, Jamie. Wait, what is this? What did you have me make? I'm gonna have some eggnog with espresso right now. See, that sounds good. That sounds really good, actually. The pistachios are there to raise the price. I wouldn't be surprised. Also, Rome's is here. Hi, Rome's. I thought you wouldn't be able to join this one, but hi. Anyways, I'm gonna be sipping on that because I do love eggnog. It's not in a glass because Jamie just told me marinated pistachios. Oh my god. I just finished work. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Caffeine is bad for the heart. Yeah, take it from the guy himself. Okay. Nothing like breaking good old eggs into a cup and mixing them with something nutty to wake you up. But Mira juts out her long leg fast enough to right the table. It was a little funny watching Zoe break a bunch of pistachios apart just to sprinkle them into her drink. At least Mira didn't have to watch her break the eggs herself. The cafe provided the eggnog, even if the waitress shot Zoe a slightly concerned look on her way out. See, that sounds like better eggnog than the one I have. I just got mine from a store. Um it's eggnog, you know. It's good. The TV in the corner of the cat cafe is playing Rumi's live talk show interview. After all, Ria Rumi can't be caught dead in California this frequently without something to show for it. But unfortunately, and seemingly fortunate for Zoe, the interview is all she has today before they're back to hanging out together for the rest of the weekend. There's no one else in the cat room, so the cashier had forked over the remote to let them play whatever they wanted. Mira was a bigger fan of watching a horror movie. Zoe scolded her for not thinking of the poor baby kitties. Speaking of horror stories on your sets, the host starts. Nice. And Rumi visibly stiffens with an automatic smile. How's your new album coming? Heard your new single on the radio last night. You must be feeling good about it. So which song are we talking about here? Is it another canon song? Is it Number One Girl or is it In Another World? Which song are we talking about? Anyway, you must be feeling good about it. The other host pipes up with, yeah, and it sounds different from your other albums. Me personally, I love it. I know that early critics are saying otherwise, but I'm loving the more upbeat take this year. Okay, so it's upbeat. I wasn't a big fan of what was that song a couple years ago? In Another World! Let's go! Let's go, baby! Listen, don't you say anything bad about In Another World! Don't you fucking dare! Not because it wasn't good or anything. I'm just not a big fan of depressing, you know. Take that back. Anyway. Yeah, well, Rumi laughs with a careless shrug, or at least it looks careless to the naked eye, but Mira zeroes in on the tightness of her lips. I felt like a new direction had to be in order. It's been on my mind for a while now. Zoe shimmies back against the wall with her. She whips Mira's thigh with the teaser toy, and a kitten meows in offense as it crawls over to tackle it. Mira gently nudges it away when its claws get uncomfortably close to her foot. Zoe keeps playing with the kitten in front of them. a respectable foot or so away from both of their preciously unblemished legs. What do you think his name is? Zoe muses to her. Mira points to the coffee table in the center of the small room. There's a binder with their names in it. Do you want me to get it? She asks, but she's already rising to fetch it for Zoe. But then Zoe grabs her wrist, fingers curled on the inside with the bracelet, and she tugs her back with a laugh. Obediently, Mira sits back down. Where's the fun in that, silly? Zoe teases. She whips the teaser toy back at the kitten, and it hops and swipes for it. Mira marvels at her reaction time. Hers certainly isn't as good. Make up some names with me. It's funner that way. I'm not good with names, says evenly. It's not a lie. If they start talking about babies right now, I will fucking. They better not start talking about babies right the fuck now. We just started. Okay. It's not a lie. It was Rumi who did all the researching and pitching of names when they were together. Oh god. Rumi even wanted to name her car. Mira thought it was a little ridiculous, but she supported it. Names just don't come that easily to someone like her. So, are they baby names? Are they baby names? No, that makes no sense. That doesn't. No. I have so many theories lined up for the lockets. I don't think it's baby. That's fine, Zoe replies offhandedly. It's more fun with goofy names anyway. She looks away and tilts her head to the side to think. At least for cats. I wouldn't name my kid Sir Bartholomew the Wise or anything, but it would make a gnarly name for this little guy. The thought makes Mira chuckle, and it makes her feel a little light. So Zoe wants kids, she thinks. And she hates that she feels so good about it. It doesn't feel right to feel good about it. It's one thing to crush hard on someone, because who wouldn't when it comes to Zoe, of all people? But it's another to think about something like that. And you would have experience with that, wouldn't you? Jesus. A loud laugh from the TV has her looking back up. The male talk show hosts are starting to piss her off, and she knows they're doing the same for Rumi. The tight curl of Rumi's lips as she smiles at them gives her away, but the rest of the world will write it off as real Rumi being coy. Zoe nudges Mira's side with an elbow. So, thought of a name yet? Mira gives it some thought. Then she slowly says, Tupperware? Zoe guffaws at that. She puts down the teaser toy to give her an odd look, and she asks in disbelief, Tupperware? Where'd you get that from? Someone at the hotel today asked if I wanted Tupperware to go with my meal, and I thought it sounded nice. Mira defends. In the corner of her eye, she can see Rumi on the TV playing some sort of truth or shot game with the hosts. We're getting closer to the sneak peek. We're getting close. Another cat slumps against her thigh, and she lets humble fingers run over its belly. Raising an eyebrow at her, Zoe asks, What did you think Tupperware was? Mira pauses to think. Do you really want me to answer that? Nope. Zoe grins at her, scooting a little closer. Mira tries her best not to enjoy the smell of her perfume too much, but she finds herself sniffing lightly and smiling anyway. Hopefully, Zoe doesn't notice. Think of something else. Why? Mira whines. Because it's fun, Zoe exclaims, pouting at her. Well, that's not fair in the slightest. How about this? Imagine we were living together. Why would we be living together? Mira asks curiously. Sorry, her voice is supposed to be high. Why would we be living together? Mira asks curiously, her voice higher by half a semitone. She cringes, and the cat that she's petting looks up at her with a judgmental eye. She deserves it. Zoe shrugs and answers, maybe because you finally run away from your parents' place after the billionth time you complain about them? It's not that easy, Zumi, Mira replies, exasperated. If it really was that easy, she would have left years upon years ago. But unfortunately for her, the Kongs have too many eyes on them, and she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life being swarmed by paparazzi asking her what went wrong with them and what was wrong with her. There was a time, though, when she would have done it in a heartbeat if someone had held her hand and ran with her. Zoe gives her a gentle smile. It puts her right back at ease. I know. I'm just saying that it's a nice fantasy, she says soothingly, and Mira grunts with agreement. Anyways, stop interrupting me. Mira nods. Zoe whips the end of the teaser toy into her knee and thanks. So, imagine we're living together and we're making super bomb ramen meals for dinner every single night, she declares. And Mira instantly finds five different things wrong with Zoe's conjured ingenuity. Like the fact that, first of all, no in-house chef to tailor to every one of Zoe's cravings. Blasphemy. And then one day I turn to you and I'm like, dude, this house feels so empty. And you say, does it? And I say, yeah, for sure. I think we need to add another pussy in the house. Incredible, incredible. Mira chokes on her own spit. She coughs into her fist, and Zoe's eye glints with mischief. So that was on purpose. Good to know. Zoe, never shut up. Never stops. Can you guess what kind? Zoe teases further. God, I love her. I love her bad. I love her. Can you guess what kind? Zoe teases further, batting her eyelashes. On the TV, Rumi slams down another shot, which she assumes is just water made to look like vodka, after Rumi had pulled back the curtain on all the times she had to do skits like that for shows. And the hosts cheer and clap for her. Then Rumi burps and she pounds her chest lightly. It makes her look down to earth. I think that's enough of that, one of the hosts jokes, and someone off screen takes the plate of shots away from their table. Or else we're going to get a bunch of clips online of Korea's pop princess being sloshed as hell in the good old US of A. The three of them laugh amongst themselves. Oh, they certainly wouldn't want that, especially after what Rumi had done when she was exactly that, just a little while ago. It's a miracle that the club was too sweaty and dark for anyone to really notice them. I'm gonna pull this closer to myself. Hello, YouTube. And I'll put this over here. Okay. Then Mira turns to Zoe and guesses, you want Rumi? Zoe arches an eyebrow, and Mira realizes her mistake a split second too late. When I said I wanted a pussy in the house, you thought of, or a cat? You want a cat? What next? Mira says quickly, her voice strains. Oh, God. Zoe lets it go at least. She laughs under her breath, and another challenger walks up in front of them in the form of a chubby orange cat. The name for that guy comes easy to Mira, Garfield. He even smells like a Garfield, and by that she means he smells strongly of lasagna. They probably need to separate him from all the other cats during dinner. While she whips the toy at a much slower pace this time for Garfield, Zoe forces on. So I tell you that we should get a cat so the house is less lonely. And wait, I forgot about Derpy. She makes a face, and Mira says, okay, I say that we need another cat in the house so Derpy doesn't get lonely. And then, what about Sussy? Mira drawls. She adjusts her seat on the floor to give Zoe a mild look, and then she explains, one cat in the house is bad enough. Two will probably put him in cardiac arrest. And then he'd lose all of his feathers and he dies. Then I die of grief. Is that what you want? Of course not! Zoe exclaims, horror splattered on her face. Mira runs her tongue on the inside of her cheek as she keeps from laughing. We could confine Sussy in a special Sussy room where he can have his alone and not dying time. So Derpy and Cat 2 get to roam around the house, but my baby doesn't? Mira tuts. I see the hierarchy of our house, Zumi. Zoe slaps her thigh with her palm, and Mira guffaws hard. Zoe is so red in the face that it's almost hard for Mira to breathe through her laughter. The other cats in the room are starting to take notice of them. Mira feels a little bad for waking a few of them up, but they don't seem to mind as they to jump from their sleeping spots to walk over to them in curiosity. There are a lazy few that continue to lounge around in their trees or on the window ledge. I thought you didn't even care about Sussy that much. I was always the one who had to defend him from you, Zoe accuses, still slightly pink in the face. She swishes the end of the toy idly to let the cat swipe at it curiously. Do you remember 2 weeks ago when he was mocking your voice and you were like, oh yeah, the only reason I haven't told him yet is because if someone ever broke into my room, I could just throw him at them as my second line of defense, and then I could, like, you never get frustrated with Derpy. Mira accuses back, shoulders still shaking with laughter. She still remembers Zoe shouting in terror on her stream when she came back from her bathroom break to find that Derpy left a half-dead mouse in her hallway. She spent the rest of that stream playing Tetris and humming along to Rurumi songs after cleaning it up. It's one of the reasons why Mira would never get a cat. Besides, cats don't like her either, so okay. I feel normal about animal imagery and Candyfloss, guys. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I feel so totally normal. Okay. She scratches the chin of the cat that presses up next to her thigh, and it purrs under her hand. Generally, cats don't like her. I think you're projecting. So I think you're projecting. Okay, well, I still love him, Zoe says defiantly, and she sticks her tongue out at Mira. Mira resists the urge to stick her tongue out too. You can talk shit about someone and still love all of the shit they have or something, right? Don't you agree? Why would I agree with that? Mira asks, wrinkling her nose. Sounds like flawed logic. You still feed Sussy expensive bird food and get him all the expensive toys, even when he wakes you up in the middle of the night. Zoe deadpans, and Mira grumbles under her breath. She pokes Mira on the side. And you walk me to class whenever you visit, even if I start blasting TikToks next to your ear. And yeah, and what she wants to press. But she has a feeling she knows what it would have been. The talk show host exclaims, Rumi, did you really? Yeah, you can ask anyone who knows me. Rumi confirms with a nod and a shy laugh. She has her hands on her lap, looking so small between the two loud men that Mira wants to choke them to death just as much as she wants to roll her eyes at how demure Rumi is making herself look. Man, I think you have the craziest talents of any person I've met, one of the hosts remarks, shaking his head. He adjusts the microphone in front of him while Rumi laughs. I wouldn't call it a talent, Rumi admits. Just a quirk, I guess. Ah, Rumi being humble. Who would have thought? The other host teases. The hosts share a laugh, and Rumi smiles in between them. At least she looks more relaxed this time. Your exes must have gone crazy when they found out that you can wrap a cherry knot in your mouth. I know I would have. Hey, Rumi fans, send me a link if she ever did that at a concert, would you? That is an insane thing to say. Why would you say that? Also, I have a friend who can do that. It's pretty awesome. Why would you say that? What is wrong with I hate men. Men fuck you. Not all men, whatever. I hate these guys though. Oh god. While the two hosts laugh, Rumi laughs along and admits, "Oh, I just had the one X." Mira's chest tightens hard, then releases when she realizes that she means Jinu, the only real relationship that she's ever been allowed to share. He didn't think it was all that impressive. He thought he could do it better. Could he? The host asks in amusement, one elbow on the table. Rumi pauses for dramatic effect. He swallowed it more than once. She tells them with a slight distaste, and the TV almost seems to shake with their laughter. Something burns in the back of Mira's throat when Rumi smiles fondly down at her mic as she adjusts the pop filter. The burn feels familiar and old, like the smell of burning books. She'd felt like this a lot when they were together. She hates feeling like it now when it shouldn't even matter anymore. Why won't you talk about me? She thinks bitterly, just as fast as she thinks, never ever put my name in your mouth again. Zoe seems interested in the conversation on the TV now, too. She still swishes the toy, but she tugs it away half a second later than she usually does. No cat gets close to taking it, though. Not even the black cat that hisses and swipes so fast that Mira has to blink a couple of times. I'm sure other partners in the future will appreciate that trick, Rumi, the host declares with a not so subtle wink. Go to hell. Hey, have you been to the clubs here in LA? There's a few that I could hook you up with. Maybe you can find your dream beau or. No, no, that's all right, Rumi says with a gracious laugh. I'm too focused on my career right now for a big commitment like that. My future beau definitely deserves the focus. The host's awe, and Mira wants to huff at how blatantly PR the answer sounds. Hey, Rob, didn't you say you were a big Game of Thrones fan? Would you recommend it? I'll probably need something to watch on my way back to Seoul. And and also a PR answer. Mira is proud of that one though. Holy shit, after the shitstorm of Zoe turns to look at her again. Where were we again? She muses, almost to herself. She flicks the toy in front of the two white cats, then exclaims, "Oh, right, cat names. Since we got an audience, why don't we name them for me first? Why don't you name them for me first? And we can round back to our second child afterwards." That one's definitely Garfield, Mira says, pointing at the fat ginger cat. Then she points at the two white cats. I know at least 5 different mochis and hayangis who look exactly like that. Zoe snorts. I would have guessed Snowball, but yeah, now that I think about it, Mira lazily points at a tortoiseshell. I know what you think I'm going to say, but it's not going to be Turtle or Franklin, Mira says dryly. And Zoe pouts. I was going to say Jinjingi. Jinjingi. Zoe frowns. Just curious. Why that? She doesn't really strike me as a. She waves her hand around in lieu of continuing. Because tortoise shells remind me of turtles, and turtles remind me of you. Mira explains. Mira explains while Zoe nods along. And you remind me of Jinjingi. I don't know what Jinjingi is. What is that? I'm gonna look it up. I don't think this is what you meant when you said don't look up the Korean. So, boop, beep, boop. Is it just the name or? Hmm. Hmm. Cute whiny girl crying already. Wait, what is happening, y'all? Sorry, I just looked over. Lover girl Mira. Host, get back, get back. What is happening? What does Jinjingi mean? It doesn't come up. Like Jing Jing in Chinese comes up, and it suggests endearment. Is it supposed to be in Chinese? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. It means cute whiny girl. Oh, in what? I am happening. Locket, what are you saying? Is it in Korean? Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. But thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Hey! Zoe whines. She hits her with the teasing toy again, and Mira laughs. Oop, I dropped something. Sorry. Ah! No! Ah! Oh no. Um, Eggnog got everywhere. Oh no. Hey, Zoe whines. She hits her with the teasing toy again, and Mira laughs. Still laughing under her breath, Mira points at the calico rubbing himself on the rug. Hari, go on, I'm listening. Zoe giggles, and she puts down the teaser toy to give herself some respite from the riled up cats. They meow at her in demand, but Zoe offers them her tightly sleeved hand as a counteroffer. I don't know, I just see calicos with pretty names, Mira says with a half shrug. I would have said the same thing with tuxedo cats, Zoe replies with a considerate nod. They're very fancy in my eyes, like a Vivienne or an Amelie or a Lord Percival or something. But then they'll probably yak on the carpet and the spell gets broken or whatever. You like the name Vivienne? Mira asks. Her voice has an odd wobble to it. I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm gonna. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna. Vivienne is really good. Vivienne is really good. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna fucking. They're gonna start talking about baby names. Her voice has an odd wobble to it. For a cat, a little too fancy, I think, Zoe says teasingly. She looks at Mira with a small kitten gnawing and clawing at her sleeve. For a kid, it would be nice though, but they gotta have a fancy middle name to pair with it so they can still instill fear on their classmates. Like like Vivienne Rose or something. Imagine going to class with someone like that. Zoe laughs to herself. Mira clears her throat. Oh, not that I think your name isn't fancy, Zoe says quickly, eyes wide. She must have misunderstood Mira's odd energy. Kang Mira is super fancy. Like initials, KM or MK? That's YSL type shit right there. Oh, would you consider Sussy's full name to be like Kang Sussy? Because I totally yell out Derpy Choi down the hall when I hear him crashing into something downstairs. Sussy is just sussy to me, Mira says evenly. Another cat swipes at her knee, and Mira gently pushes it away. What kind of names would you give the cats in this room? She may or may not have ripped out a page from Rumi's PR strategies. Zoe lights up at the question. She bounces a little on the floor, and she points at different cats in quick succession as she rapid fires out. This guy would be a Louie, and that's Nobby, then Luna, Overkill, yeah, but they're pretty names. And that's Cartier and Shellington, Barry, because they look like Rumi's cutie bear. And there's Munchie and Louie again. And I was thinking cheese. And oh my god, that looks like a buttercup. Mira can't help but admire her. She keeps one hand on the floor to steady herself, and she sits there watching in her seat and ramble on and on about names. Zoe never seems to want to leave someone out. Her She captures it in her memory and locks it away tight for her to look back on and remember when they'd inevitably be separated by an ocean. Zoe's voice has always been the rocking sea beneath her feet that brings her to sleep. It sounds so gentle despite how excited and squeaky she always sounds. Like Zoe knows exactly how to toe the line between sweet sugar and pop rocks in the mouth. That is such a banger sentence. That's such a good sentence. Okay. I'll try not to get too distracted because I know this is a lot of people's blind react. Like blind a lot of people are coming blind into this, but my god, Jamie. My god, Jamie. Name a more iconic duo than Zoe and Ocean metaphors. Jesus. Her other ear is attuned to the TV. It's against her will, really. She's never been able to stop hearing Rumi's voice. Her body is too familiar with it to throw away how her voice wraps around her like a blanket on a cold night on a ship. She can hear the host ask Rumi about what kind of food in LA she likes, and how Rumi laughs and laughs about the times that she didn't realize that cake pops were less money than she thought. That was what, chapter three, four, three, I think. Once she sent money to Zoe for, for a cake pop. Zoe points at a tabby cat and proudly says, "Oh, that's a Bertha if I've ever seen one." At the same time that Rumi on TV admits, "I don't think that I have that high of a spice tolerance. I don't mind it in my food most of the time, but I think I prefer sweet foods. Or sour. Sweet and sour, maybe." Then Zoe says, "I think I should get Derpy a new cat tower with the donation money I got off Home Moon. What do you think? There's this really big one that I think he'd like, and I think he's been getting so chubby recently that he can't fit in the one in my room anymore." Over Zoe's blabbering, Rumi tells the interviewers, "Oh, I think my favorite K drama I've ever worked on was the one where they hung me upside down on a bridge. It was super windy that day, and my hair was..." Zoe happily says, "Actually, I think I should spend the money on you. You always get me things, and I think I should get you that book you really wanted when you saw my shelf." "Yeah, I'm quite fond of dogs," Rumi admits with a happy smile. "A friend convinced me to try some community dog walking." "I think the pities were this to walk." "Do you want to try the lemonade down the street after this?" Zoe asks, her mind completely derailed from talking about cat names. Laser toy back and forth on the ground in front of a black cat who has its hackles raised at Mira with big wide eyes. "I know we just had lattes outside the cat room, but I'm feeling kind of thirsty. I can pay for it this time." Mira's still staring at the cat. They're staring at each other. Mira can't help but marvel at how small it looks, even when it's all puffed up like that. Such a small thing to want to be threatening. Such a small thing to want to be threatening to people this badly. She can feel Zoe staring at her too, waiting for an answer, but Mira's too focused on the cat. I'm gonna pause for a second and say, um, I I know that Jamie is a film major, and like when I was first reading it, when I was first reading Candyfloss, I was like, someone needs to film this. Someone needs to film this because the back and forths are just like so good. I want to see this filmed in front of me with the cuts and everything. And now that I know that Jamie is a film major, everything that I read makes sense. Everything makes sense in that context because I'm reading this and I'm like, yeah, these are cuts. These are cuts. These are we have the Zoe, and then we have the Rumi, and then we have the Zoe, and then we have that's film brain. That's so good. Like I love it so much. It's so good. I'm like freaking the fuck. It's so good. Someone make a movie. Jamie, you gotta make a movie on Candy Floss after this. Like, because my God. Anyways, I just want to say that I've thought about this since first reading it, and now it all makes sense. Anyway, anyway, then Zoe puts down the cat toy. She leans forward towards the cat, slowly and surely. She holds out her hand with a small pss, pss, pss under her breath, and Mira wants to shake her head and tell her that it won't ever work. But the cat hisses, bats at Zoe's hand, and darts away before she can say anything, and it proves her right. Her shoulders slump in disappointment. "Some cats are like that," Mira says, trying to keep the bitterness off her tongue and voice. She folds her arms over her chest as she watches the cat scurry off into the cat tree. "They just don't want to be friends with people. Even you, Zoe." She meant it teasingly. It comes out a little more hissy than she wanted. But Zoe just shrugs, and she leans back against the wall behind them. Then she presses their knees together. Mira quite likes the warmth. Mean cats just need more time and love, Zoe tells her firmly. You'll see. Killing my elf. Killing my elf. Mira opens her mouth to respond. She can't find her voice. The TV takes their attention away anyway. Rumi is laughing about something that her hosts just said, and her smile looks more genuine. Mira's nails stop digging into her forearms. Kissing scenes aren't always that awkward, Rumi promises. She tilts her head to the side and looks up at the ceiling to think. Sometimes there's more tongue than you're expecting, but that doesn't really happen to me anymore. I think boys are too shy to press their lips harder on me when we film, even though I tell them it's fine, she adds with a laugh. Hey, to be fair, if I was kissing a pretty woman like you, I'd shit my pants, the host remarks. And there's more laughter coming from the three of them and people behind the camera. Mira focuses a little more on the conversation. I saw the next sentence. Newsflash, newsflash. Already saw words. Newsflash, newsflash. Lock and Artie, lol. I know, I know. Mira focuses a little more on the conversation. But then Zoe asks, what was in your locket? She asks it so easily that Mira has to roll the question around in her mind a couple times before it slams right into her ribcage, and she nearly lurches forward with the impact. It's a good thing that she's sitting down on the floor. Sorry, Zoe apologizes with a sheepish smile. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I was just thinking about it last night, and I was like, hey, was Mira's necklace actually a locket? It kind of looked like one. And then I started conspiring about it instead of doing my homework. Zoe is all of us. Zoe is all of us. Zoe is all of us. I love you. Um, Her voice is teasing as it is strained. What do you think was in it? Mira asks slowly. She doesn't know why she asks it. Maybe she's stalling, or maybe she wants to see if Zoe is right. Zoe hums in thought. They watch a cat stretch and yawn in front of them for a little while before Zoe says, a picture? A lock of hair? A deed to a super secret house? A microchip connected to a credit card in case you lose your real card anywhere? My theory is that it's not any of these. Is that really what you came up with? Mira asks, lips curling into a smirk. Zoe jabs her in the side again. They're just theories, she argues, and Mira's smirk grows. Are you going to tell me or not? I mean, I can drop it if you want. I was just nosy. You don't have to say anything, especially since lost it and everything. Each word from Zoe's mouth comes out quieter than the last. Mira shakes her head. I can tell you if you want me to, she offers gently. She puts her hand on Zoe's knee to give it a tender squeeze. I'm so scared. I don't mind telling you. It's just stuff that's what's a good word to describe it? Stuff from the past, stuff that doesn't matter anymore, stuff that she shouldn't give a shit about, even though the of her fingers still reach for her collarbone every morning before she realizes that it's still gone. Zoe's lips press together lightly as she nods her head in understanding. She puts her hand over Mira's, thumb rubbing over Mira's wrist. I mean, I already guessed it was about Rumi, Zoe says, so casually that Mira's breath catches. I'm just surprised that neither of you. Never mind. Mira frowns. Never mind what? Nothing. Paddle Taylor, what are you talking about? Zoe says quickly. Then she clears her throat. Anyway, I already figured it out. It's up to you if you want to tell about it. I'm so scared. Okay. Mira looks at her for a long time while the TV still drones on in the corner of the room, and the cats around them lay down for naps or play on the scratch post. Then she asks, quiet as not to wake anyone in this ambiance, "You don't care that I still—" No, she doesn't have it anymore. "That I used to wear it all the time?" "I wish you still did," Zoe corrects her, her smile light. "And when we find it for you, I want you to keep wearing it. It's perfect on you." God, I love Zoe so much. Mira just gives her a look. She hopes that it conveys enough of what she means. And thankfully, Zoe seems to understand. Shrugging, Zoe says, "Hey, I don't exactly know what goes on in your pretty head, but I know that you don't let people walk all over you. I mean, I read enough of your magazine interviews to know that. And if you kept something that Rumi gave to you, it meant something. And Rumi still means something." She clocked your ass so quick. She clocked your ass so quick. Oh, period. And then people dare to say that Zoe isn't smart. People fucking dare to say that Zoe isn't smart. Zoe is like maybe the smartest of them. Like, oh my god. Whatever that something is something that Mira doesn't know how to explain. Zoe smiles at her gently. "It's why I thought trying to get you guys to get along would work out someday," she admits, quiet and— "If I didn't see you two keep a part of each other, I would have been okay with keeping you separate in my life. I mean, geez, exes are messy, but like, I know you two. You're both sweet. I'm not going to ask about what happened unless you want to tell me, but I always just guessed that it was like a wrong time sitch or a misunderstanding or a we're better off not talking to each other thing. So I just thought that you getting along could work someday." TikTok, TikTok, not right now. Not right now. Zoe laughs awkwardly, scratching the side of her cheek, which is kind of my fault. I'm sorry. Mira frowns. "For what?" "For everything with Rumi," Zoe says softly, and Mira looks away from how sincere she looks. So bright, just like the sun that warms her skin. "You two sucked at the start. No, I don't blame you for my dad. Stop pouting." Zoe gives her an encouraging smile when she stops. "But you two sucked. I sucked for not thinking about what could have, you know?" She waves her arms around helplessly. Mira exhales through her nose slowly. "Rumi and I are adults. We could have said no to you. That wasn't just on you," she mumbles. Zoe tilts her head to the side. "If you didn't say no, is it because you thought I might be right?" "About?" "That you two could make up somehow?" she asks sincerely. Mira clenches her jaw until it aches. Sometimes Mira can still smell the wine on the carpet. "Sorry," Zoe says quickly, picking up the teaser toy again. "I didn't mean to bring up anything weird. We can keep talking about cats if you want. Do you like toygers? Derpy." "It's a flower," Mira admits. Pressed. A pressed flower. One of the theories is a check. Yeah, one of the theories is a check. We did I mean, Jamie tweeted about flowers. So I was like, "Wait, this was one of my theories." Yeah. Hi, Zoe! Guys, Zoe has never been on a stream before. Oh my god! Hi, Zoe! Okay, but what flowers? We'll get to there. Um, but here's the thing. I thought it might be a flower. Zoe debut! Zoe debut! I thought it might be a flower because I was rereading chapter 4 where they meet in that cafe and have that argument. And Rumi keeps describing like specific smell and she keeps being like pink, pink, pink. And I'm like, It's a pink flower. It can be a pink flower. That was one of my guesses. But then I don't know. That guess kind of remained there. And then I was thinking about song lyrics maybe. But flower makes a lot of sense. So that's a check. I had a list of theories. I came fucking prepared, Jamie. I came prepared so I don't crash out as hard as I could have. Okay? Okay? Okay, so that's a check. Sticks. Sticks. Sticks, are you here? Sticks. Sticks, are you here? Sure. What are y'all saying? Mhm. Oh my god, the whole crew is here. Wait, we have Lockett, we have Mira, Zoe, um, oh god, is Rumi here? Rumi also here. But a flower for what? What flower? I'm still curious. Okay, we'll keep going. We won't pause too much. We won't pause too much. Okay. It's a flower, Mira admits. Pressed, a pressed flower. Zoe looks at her, brow scrunched. Then the realization sets in slowly, and a cat jumps at the teaser toy. Zoe doesn't pull up in time, and her arm yanks forward. She drops the toy. Mira shrugs, smiling a little at Zoe's reaction. She gave it to me on our first date, and the content inside was a little more thrown together. She explains, her smile growing at the memory. She forces her smile to drop. She doesn't want to be smiling about this. Then she put the flower in it a week before we. Her breath catches. But yeah, it's a flower. Nothing fancy like your microchip theory. Sorry, Zumi. She put the flower in a week before they broke up. You're going to make me guess the flower, aren't you? Zoe asks flatly. Has Zoe been practicing her flower language? Listen, you made that tweet, and I'm like, I'm at work right now. I cannot, and I don't know flower language, so I'll just find out with everyone else. Oh man, no microchip credit card. I'm so sorry, Mr. Choi. I know that that would have been nice for you. Okay. You're going to make me guess the flower, aren't you? Zoe asks flatly. Can't give you everything, Mira teases. Groaning, Zoe lays her cheek on Mira's shoulder. Mira jostles her cheek lightly, and she pats Zoe's thigh in pity. If Zoe wants the answers so badly about something that still puts a lump in her throat, the least she can do is make Zoe work for them. Can you give me a hint at least? Zoe begs. Mira doesn't have to think about it for sorry. Mira doesn't have to think about it for long. She can still see the imprint of the flower behind her eyelids. Thin stems, small. Color? Zoe asks. It would give it away. Zoe pouts and smacks the palm of her hand when Mira tries to intertwine their fingers together. While Mira chuckles under her breath, Zoe's first guess is uh lavender? Good guess, Mira says with a hum. No. Sweet peas? You're biased. And no. Aww, Zoe whines, and Mira pats her thigh again in pity. Wax flowers? Snapdragons? I'm running out of small, thin stemmed flowers, so, uh. Mira puts her cheek on top of Zoe's head. She closes her eyes. She can feel Zoe playing with the rings on her fingers. She would let Zoe play with her hands and rings all day if she wanted to. She'd melt herself down to solid gold so Zoe could play with the rings all the time. Cool, cool. No thoughts, no thoughts. We'll keep going. It's white, Mira mumbles, almost to herself. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Zoe picks up her head from Mira's shoulder to look at her. Her mouth parts in a light "oh" as she asks softly, Baby's breath? Mira swallows the knife lodged in her throat. Yeah. Zoe doesn't respond for a long while. She looks back at the cats, watches them play and nap around them, then gently whispers, "Am I allowed to ask what it means?" At Mira's silence, Zoe explains, a little pink in the face. I'm I'm not really good at flower language. I just know that roses mean romance and sunflowers are like happiness or something like that. Mira exhales with amusement, shoulders lightly shaking. On the TV screen, Rumi is still being grilled by the hosts about her newest album and some gossip in the industry that's clearly making her sweat trying to circumvent. It hurts to look at her for too long. So she looks at Zoe instead. It gets easier to breathe the longer she looks at Zoe. It just means purity, innocence, light, shit like that. Mira explains with her tongue running along the inside of her cheek. She thinks about it a little longer, and a cat presses itself against her thigh to purr. She pets it gently, and new beginnings, I guess. Cool, awesome, cool, cool. No thoughts. No, this is not affecting me at all. Zoe brings her knees up to her chest and hugs them. She puts her cheek on her knee and looks up at Mira with those beautifully doe-like eyes, and Mira's heart aches. "You're my new beginning," she wants to tell her. But then Zoe asks, "So Rumi gave it to you on your first date as a gift to your new beginnings or something?" Good guess, Mira admits, her lips curling upwards in a genuine smile, even as small as it is. But no. It would have been easy to discern that someone as awkward as Rumi would have thought that lockets were an appropriate first date gift. It certainly didn't surprise her all too much. "Can you stop leaving me hanging?" Zoe whines. Mira snickers at the face she's making, but she complies. She would do whatever Zoe wanted of her, no matter what it would be. Didn't open it for a while after our first anniversary. Just got too busy to sit down and look at the picture of us we put in there for our first month anniversary, Mira says with a shrug. Her fingers reach up to touch her collarbone, and she puts them back down. So Rumi slipped it in sometime during that entire year, I guess. Finding it after they broke up caused her to drive around the city for 8 hours straight. Her parents yelled at her. She still doesn't care about it. Sure, Mira. Sure, Mira. Then Zoe whispers, "She wanted something new with you." It's not a question, it's a statement. Mira looks back at the cats and watches them roam around and live their lives. The cat against her thigh swishes its tail at her, and she scratches its chin. Mira doesn't want to tell her where baby's breath is commonly given as gifts, how she knows that Rumi had wanted to convey that hope of getting there with her right before she left and they destroyed everything they built. I am so upset right now. I am so very upset right now. Well, um, we'll keep reading from here. Sorry that I'm not interacting with the chat. The TV catches their attention again. I need one of those, the little paper bags. Like, I knew it had to. Your fucking baby fever has been ruining my life. It's been ruining my life. Breathe, Artie, breathe. I'm so fine. Artie, there's more. I know this. I drank this whole thing. I did warn you to prepare. I thought I was prepared. Lock it. I thought I was. The TV catches their attention again. It's the host's booming voice that gets them craning their heads up just in time for him to ask, "Come on, Rumi, you've seriously only been in love once?" I hate you. I hate you so much. You are my op. Um, it's well, I love my friends, family, obviously, but Rumi says with a wave of the hand and a laugh. She's a little pink in the face. The hosts have been grilling her for a while now, it seems. Mira feels bad for her. "You don't have to spill who it is," the other host exclaims, leaning over the table inconspicuously. "Just tell us some bits and pieces, things that inspired your work. You gotta know how much people eat this up, Rumi. Who knows? Maybe it could be a fan out there." "Or someone closer in the industry than we all think," the main host says with a waggle of his eyebrows. Zoe tugs at the hem of her shirt. Confused, Mira turns to look at her, and Zoe quickly explains, "We don't have to be here if you don't want to be." Mira surprises herself by answering, "It's okay." Then Rumi, flustered and panicked on the screen, answers, Well, it's hard to answer. I mean, I found some of my co-stars attractive, obviously." "Some?" The host asks eagerly. "All, most," Rumi says with a quick nod. She clears her throat. "There's, I don't know, there isn't a specific person that I'm thinking of right now, but I guess you could say that I have a type." "Ooh," the two hosts hum in unison. Rumi looks like she's gaining her composure again. Years upon years of practice can do that to a person. Yet, Mira can see the light twinge of pink on the tips of her ears. "I guess they're just the brooding type? I don't know." Rumi exclaims. The funniest person alive. The funniest person alive. Rumi explains, laughing and scratching the side of her neck. The the misunderstood type, I guess. They're always the sweetest. Mira stops breathing. Yeah, I can get why. Oh God. Rumi is like, "I like it when I can fix that." That's not what she's saying. I just thought that was funny to say. "I like it when they look like they don't care about what other people think about them." That's basically her tagline. Nice fashion sense is a must. Mira has a bunch of magazines praising her for her style, and maybe a little bit of an enigma around them, but still the type to text back and send you just because flowers. She's always wanted to send Rumi more flowers. She practically begs to get more for her, other than on special occasions, and those stupid small bouquets. Then Rumi's eyes soften, and Mira still can't breathe. "And I like it when they're not scared to lie," Rumi says softly, and Mira's brow knits in confusion. When they like when they like to tug you out of your comfort zone, or when they point out things that make you see more joy in the world. I like when they get clingy, or they're just not afraid to show you that they adore you and that they love it when you adore them. Soft hands too, sunny smiles. Rumi, you didn't have to get that personal. You didn't have to get that specific. The silence is palpable, even between the chatty hosts. Then Rumi corrects, "Beautiful smiles." Mira doesn't hear anything from Zoe. This is usually the part where Zoe would exclaim about how cheesy her childhood idol crush is being right now, or the part where she'd whip out the toy again to get her to play with the cats herself. But she looks over, and all she sees is joy on Zoe's face. She must know then. She must feel the same. And Mira can't help but think so bitterly. This whole time, I thought I was pulling ahead of you. You are already crossing the finish line. It can't be a competition, though. They promised that they wouldn't sabotage each other with Zoe. And even if they hadn't, Mira still wouldn't interfere. If Zoe is happy, so is she. If Rumi is happy, then she's glad that she can have something that she couldn't give her. Sobbing, crying, throwing up is right. That is very correct. That is very correct. God. What are you guys saying? I'm sorry. I need to take a little break. Zoe's going to pass away. I am passing away. Oh, Zoe's left. Oh, bye, Zoe. Gotta dip. Bye, chat. Bye, RD. Oh my god. I like it when they show me the love they hide from everyone else. That's so true. I'd have to agree with Rumi here. Oh, really? Oh, really, Ruminator. Really? So interesting. Um, Jamie is killing us with the chapter. I'm gonna cry. I'm passing away basically too. I would pay real money for a GTC movie. Yeah. I'll have a little sip of my eggnog, y'all. I need something sweet. You wait. I need something sweet. Pleek, pleek, pleek. It's so silly. Why are there pistachios in this? You want a movie or a comic? GTC movie, TC soap, real as hell. I want a movie. Or like I guess I want a TV show. I want a K-drama. Yes. Yes. Rome's, yes. Squid. Squid, let me read you to sleep. If you need to sleep, then you can sleep. Who would we cast? There's so many options. I don't know. Y'all figure that out. I'm going to keep reading. Well, there you have it, folks. One of the hosts exclaims, tapping the table. If you have a beautiful smile and you're the type to brood, hit up Rumi's line. The conversation turns to drinks and alcohol tolerance. Sneak peek time. I know this part. Which Rumi stumbles through with awkward laughs and polite refusals to drink again on TV. The hosts don't seem to realize the weight of Rumi's confession, and Rumi seems to be oh so desperately trying to do the same. A cat sinks its teeth into her knee, and Mira cringes. Zoe surprises her again. She turns to look at Mira, eyes gently crinkled at the corners, and asks, "So, I know about yours now. Can I ask you about Rumi's?" Mira frowns. Zoe seems confused by her confusion. Until Mira asks, "What do you mean by Rumi's?" And Zoe's face blossoms into panicked surprise. I usually take breaks at lime breaks, but like we're just having a switch up to Zoe POV, and I'm gonna keep reading. We have Dad Choi appearance. I've never done Dad Choi voice. Have I done? Have I done Dad Choi voice? Okay. Skull. Deceased. So real, Rose. Okay. Zoe! Her dad yells from the other room. Zoe turns off her hairdryer and sets it down on the counter. She pokes her head out from the bathroom to yell back. Yeah? She gets silence in return. What? She shouts again. When her father doesn't respond again, Zoe huffs and marches out of her room. She walks straight to her father's door and gives it a curt knock before entering. Her father is lounging on the bed on his phone. He has his reading glasses on. Without looking up, he points at the light switch next to Zoe's shoulder. Can you turn off the lights for me, please? He asks, his voice flat. Zoe sighs. Taking a trip to the hospital doesn't mean that you have to act like that, you know? She scolds, but she flicks the light off obediently anyway. The man had a heart attack. The man had a heart attack and he's right here right now. Zoe! Oh my god. Bah. He waves his hand at her in dismissal. Rolling her eyes, Zoe turns back on her heel. But then her father says, You're going out? She tries not to sigh again. She knows that her father needs to be cut some slack, what with his hospital trip and all, but that doesn't stop her from being annoyed with his more bothersome qualities. Her practice answer comes naturally to her, and she says, Yeah, just going out with some friends to an escape room and nothing else. I'll be home before 11. Her father peers at her over his glasses. He puts his phone down on his lap. The fact that his screen is on light mode is like that, he asks suspiciously. Her shoulders are squared in defense. He gestures vaguely to her crop top. Zoe, you know I don't have to say it out loud. But boy, are you impressing. Appa, she asked tiredly. Ah, yes. Or girl, he says as an afterthought, nodding to himself in satisfaction. This is my mom. This is my mom. Yes, boy or girl. Um, Nodding to himself in satisfaction. We love an ally. Ally. He said, ally. Woke dad. There's no reason for you to look like a colorful bird for a boy or a girl. I was going to wear a jacket, she whines. Zip it up, he says tersely. He puts his phone back up to his face and he adjusts his reading glasses, then makes a shooing motion with his other hand. Have fun. Do not come home late. I will know. Zoe mocks his words under her breath, but she closes his door and goes back to her room to dry her half damp hair. A quick check of her phone tells her that their escape room reservation is in an hour. Sending them slightly but not too naughty pictures of herself after her shower has practically become tradition. You are saying that the photo card picture was, slightly but not too naughty? Tee. Zoe, you're crazy. Zoe, you're insane. Oh, God. They didn't tell her to stop, so she has yet to stop. I'm dead. Funniest person ever. Um, Zoe's dad is here. Like, my daughter is doing what? um, she frowns to herself as the hairdryer roars next to her ear. The nerves are starting to get to her. Did she do too much? Was that too bold? Was doing it 2 days in a row too much? Man, it probably was. Considering that Mira and Rumi are probably the most sought after bachelorettes in Korea, and in the world, if she's being honest, why would they react to her silly little shower pic? They probably get 1,000 better nudes in their direct messages on the daily. Girl. Oh my god. Do not sell yourself short, babe. Exactly. Girl, I come on. Okay. And sure, last night they responded to her sports bra picture with undone braids, towels over still slightly damp bodies, and protruding collarbones, but that doesn't mean they reciprocate. Girl, me when I pretend to not notice, like girl. Zoe turns off the hairdryer and curls the cable. Just as she places them back into their basket on the shelf, her phone pings. She nearly lunges for it. Mirara. Mirarara. Giraffe emoji, purple heart emoji. Rumi and I are on our way. Are you ready? Zoe frowns at the texts. No reaction to her shower pictures? Really? She should probably let it go. If they don't want to react to it, that's fine. They're still getting her, and they still want to hang out with her, and that's fine. Who would want to be with Zoe anyway? It's not like Zoe had been low key crushing on them for weeks now, and that she masturbated to them when she was drunk. It's like, who cares? Who cares? She rifles through her closet for a decent jacket to wear while she types with one hand. None of the jackets in her closet are calling out to her with this crop top. So easy on me. Yeah, California girls in an escape room. We're getting number one, girls. On that stupid leaderboard. On that stupid leaderboard. Trust me. I see what you did there. That's evil. That's evil. Why would you do that? Zoe is so funny because she flirts with them and sees their reaction, but then acts like she has no chance. Like, girl, why would you do that, Jamie? Why would you know? Why would you just put that in a text? I'll keep going. Whatever. Ruminator. We can try. Zoe can practically hear Rumi's nerves oozing out of her texts. She just can't understand why. It's just an escape room. Her phone pings again. She nearly stubs her toe when getting out of her bathroom. Mirarara. That's Mirarara. Mirarara. By the way, you look hot, Zoe. Rumi. Yeah, you're beautiful. Can I save it? She almost stubs her toe again. Fire with fire. Okay. So easy on me. As long as you don't do anything weird with it. Kidding. I know you won't. Girl. So, is Maxie here? Maxie, I guess that confirms that she doesn't know. Mira and Rumi saving the photo respectfully. Mirarara. Lol. See you soon, Zumi. Rumi. Purple heart. She huffs when she gets to the end of her rack of clothes. There aren't many jackets in her closet to begin with, but surely something can work out with her current outfit. Or maybe she could just risk getting cold and go jacketless. Her crop top is too cute not to show off anyway. She checks her phone screen again. No messages from Mira or Rumi yet. She pouts to herself, but at least that means they really are on the way to get her. Zoe busies herself by playing with Derpy. She sends a couple of photos to Ginu too, just to get him mad at her. She should definitely get him some new toys one of these days. Maybe she could use the donation money from her streams to get him a couple. She gets the text that they're waiting outside before long. She opens the door to her front door and she squeaks. Mira and Rumi are standing right there on her porch, flushed pink in the face. They're holding twin bouquets. Small, but Zoe's heart still lurches at the sight of them. Mira with pink peonies, and Rumi with lavender roses and baby's breath as a filler. I'm killing my elf. All the elves. All the elves. TikTok, don't ban me. TikTok, don't ban me. So are you going to explain that or do I need to look up what those flowers mean? Because I don't know flower language. They find me in the dirt by the tree. I should start using that. You're right, Nick. They find me in, they're gonna find me in the dirt by the tree. Anyway. What are you two doing here? Zoe scolds, her voice high pitched, and she looks behind Mira's shoulder to see that her car is waiting right there, headlights on and engine rumbling. It's a stupid question to ask, considering they texted her that they were on the way and she planned this day out. She wants to smack herself in the face. But it's hard to smack herself when she gets two bouquets shoved up her nose at the same time. Picking you up, Zoom Zoom, Mira answers smoothly. At the same time that Rumi replies, to come get you, sweet pea. Rumi and Mira glare at each other as Zoe gently smacks away the flowers before she can sneeze. They don't look like they're about to bite each other's heads, though. That at least stops her from smacking both over the heads with their own flowers. Zoe exhales through her nose in mild disappointment. You know, I'm just surprised you both managed to get here without snapping each other's bouquets. Almost didn't. Mira deadpans. She glances down at Rumi's bouquet with a glare, and Rumi does the same. It almost makes Zoe laugh. Made a temporary truce in the Made a temporary truce in the flower shop, though. And that truce is about to run out, Rumi retorts with a side scowl. Rumi presses her bouquet into Zoe's hands, but then Mira bats it away in place of hers. Zoe sighs through her nose again. I only have one vase in the house, Zoe admits, scratching her neck. But it's fine. I can set them on the counter and look for something when I get home. How about you put my bouquet in the mug that I gave you? Rumi asks her, practically batting her eyelashes. You kept it, didn't you? I did, Zoe starts with a strain to her voice. Your mug's too small for that, Mira says with a grunt. Just put my bouquet in my mug, Zoe. You keep it on your desk, don't you? What happened to the mugs being small? Rumi snaps. Yours is. They're the same size. Besides, you already have Zoe's mug. Let me have this. Because someone didn't want it. I did want it. I just didn't want people to ask me where it came from. Mira huffs, half in irritation and half in amusement. Then lie, obviously. Zoe, how about you put my flowers in the vase and you can cut up Rumi's to fit in her mug? I don't um I don't know if you're blind, but my flowers are taller, so they need the vase more than guys. Zoe groans. Mira barrels on with, if you're okay with it, Zoe, I can come upstairs with you and help you put the. Are you seriously bragging about the fact that you've been inside Zoe's house in front of me? Rumi asks, face tight and a little pouty. Zoe doesn't know whether to laugh or cry at the situation unfolding fast in front of her. Mira laughs dryly. Well, you would have already been here and listened to Zoe's records with her if you were in Cali more often. I listen to Zoe's records with her whenever we play Stardew Valley, Ruby says, chin held high. She was going to tell me about her signed records next time we play, right, Zoe? Oh, yeah, I actually have a record signed by you. Zoe begins hoarsely. How about we both come inside? Mira asks, and she and Rumi turn to look at Zoe so fast that Zoe nearly stumbles at her own front door. If you're cool with that, Zoe. Inside? Zoe squeaks. Rumi's eyes widen in mild panic. Oh, we don't have to if you're not. Zoe! Her father groans in the background. Zoe can hear him scratching something, probably his lower back, as he shuffles in behind her with the sound of his slippers dragging. Who are you arguing with? Is it the Wi-Fi man? Tell him we're paying for it next week like we agreed. It's almost comical. No, it is comical watching Rumi and Mira straighten up so fast. It's like watching those videos of Marines getting in line. Shoulders back, shoulders back, back straight, eyes wide, and bouquets hiding behind them. Zoe almost cackles. Her father stops right in front of the door. Zoe slowly shuffles to the right to let him squint at her friend some more. Oh, Mina. Her father grunts in mild greeting. Mira, Zoe whispers to him. How does he keep forgetting her name? Honestly, Zoe wants to shake her dad times. The first time they met, Mira was rigid as a brick wall, and he did nothing to calm her with the way he kept squinting into her face and mumbling, familiar, familiar. Bah! Her father waves his hand dismissively, and Mira says nothing to correct him. He squints at Rumi, and Rumi actively withers under his gaze. You look familiar. Is that her dad's favorite thing to say about her friends? I mean, he's not wrong. They are familiar. You are one of Zoe's college friends? Yes? Rumi squeaks. He narrows his eyes at Mira and Rumi one last time. Then he looks at Zoe, smacks his lips, and mumbles, I'm just getting water. Have fun. Have her home before midnight. Appa! Zoe whines, cheeks warming. He makes it sound like Rumi and Mira are her dates. We will, Rumi and Mira promise. He turns around and scratches his belly as he goes to get water. They both sound serious, too. Zoe wants to disappear on the spot. The three of them freeze as they wait for her father to turn on the squeaky tap, get his water, and make his way back upstairs. When the sounds of his footsteps disappear a minute later, Mira and Rumi's shoulders drop. They reveal their flowers back to Zoe, and Mira snatches Rumi's bouquet. Zoe has, hey, give that back to her right now, on the tip of her tongue before Mira unwraps her own bouquet, unwraps Rumi's, and gently and carefully intertwines them together. I wonder if that means anything symbolically. Wink, wink, wink. Wink, wink, wink. All right, time for my nap. Go take your nap. Go take your nap, Dad Choi. You deserve it. Looking into the camera like, "Hey guys, she interlaced the flowers together. Do you think that means something?" Awesome. Pink peonies residing with lavender roses. Peonies among the baby's breaths and lavender roses next to the peonies. Together, the flowers look beautiful when they mingle like that. Mira hands it over to Zoe. Awed, Zoe gently touches the tip of one of the baby's breaths. It's soft. A crisis has been averted, and she gets one giant and pretty bouquet out of it, too. It feels like a good start to the night. Rumi and Zoe give the same look to Mira, who shrugs. Zoe can still make out the tense clench of her jaw. You had one vase, she explains. It felt like the simplest way to fix it. Or maybe you just didn't want to come inside and see my dad. See my dad. See my dad. Zoe teases. It's a great solution, Mira. Thanks, Rumi says quickly. Zoe tells them to wait by the door so she can throw away the floral wrappers and put their combined flowers in the vase. Some water and flower food later, the flowers are plopped inside. They look pretty in it, and she proudly puts it on the kitchen table for her to look at every morning. Rumi holds out her hand, and Zoe nearly takes it on reflex. But then Mira holds out her hand next, and Rumi and Mira glare at each other. Zoe huffs. She takes both of their hands. Zoe sandwich! It's a weird way to descend the stairs, as if she needs the help, and she isn't even wearing heels today. But at least it keeps Rumi and Mira from pouting about any sort of favoritism. Mira opens her passenger door for Zoe. She gently flicks the tip of Mira's nose, and she laughs when Mira wrinkles her nose in response. As Rumi climbs into the back seat, Zoe twists around before putting on her seatbelt to check the air conditioner for her. Then Zoe gives her a thumbs up when the vents start to run. Rumi gives her a gentle smile. The drive to the escape room isn't too awkward. Zoe still has to carry more than half of the conversation, but she's been expecting that. At least they're opening up a little bit more this time. Maybe something about the late night and the lull of the car is getting to them. Zoe directs them over to the entrance of the escape room. As they enter, a question strikes her, and she blurts out, "Wait, have you guys ever done an escape room before?" Mira and Rumi give each other looks. Rumi volunteers, "No, but I've heard of it. It's supposed to be like giant brain teasers, right?" "You just solve puzzles to try and get out of a room," Mira says, tilting her head. "How hard could that be?" Zoe tenderly touches them both by the arms. "Oh, my sweet, beautiful, innocent girls," she coos in pity. She could have picked one of the beginner ones for this. The one that they're about to enter has a hard difficulty rating and a live horror actor. Well, surely it can't be as bad as that one time they played Minecraft. And they're here physically for her to hit over the heads. And they're here physically for her to hit over the heads if they get too out of line. Zoe signs with a worker. Their purses are put away in lockers, as well as their phones, which makes Zoe mourn because she really wanted to take selfies with the live actor. And they're ushered away into an enclosed briefing area. They're led through the standard policies: 2 hours to escape, no brute forcing props that won't open, no climbing, no touching the live actor. That makes both Rumi and Mira's eyes pop open in surprise, and Zoe cackles. And they're given five hints to use to escape. Zoe knows it all like the back of her hand from all the times she's played with her dad at birthday parties that she would slither into because sure, technically she's never been invited, but no one notices her anyway. But Rumi and Mira nod along with grim, serious faces. Wait, that's so sad. I love the Zoe trope of like her like not having a lot of friends when she's younger. I mean, yeah, obviously they talked about it in Candyfloss as well. Sometimes I get the fix mixed together in my mind. Yeah, that they did talk about that in Candyfloss. My darling child, I remember those days made me cry too. I'm so sorry. She deserves the best. She's an awesome person and she deserves the best. After the worker hands Zoe the walkie talkie to clip onto her jeans, he says, "Okay, line up, single file, and put your hands on the back of each other's shoulders." Rumi tries to worm her way to the back, and Zoe barks out, "Nuh-uh, you're dead center. Hold Mira's shoulders. I like hanging out in the back." "What?" Rumi whines. "I don't want to touch." Zoe gives her a hard stare. Rumi grumbles and puts her hand on the back of Mira's shoulders, which shake lightly with laughter. Her fingertips gingerly fall on Mira's jacket. Then the worker says, "Palms on her back, please." "This is stupid," Mira groans. "If you don't want to play, we can always just walk out and I can go home and never see you guys again," Zoe chirps happily. They play nice after that. The worker tells them to close their eyes, and he guides Mira, who stands at the front of their line, by handing her a yardstick to hold on to while he takes them through a dark corridor. The room gets colder with each step that they take. Zoe can hear faint conversations and screams from other patrons too, and it enthralls her. She can feel Rumi's shoulders stiffening more the closer they get. "Hey, Zoe," Rumi whispers softly, their eyes still closed. This is a this is an escape room, right?" "Yeah?" Zoe confirms. "It's not horror themed, is it?" she asks, her voice twinged with worry. Zoe laughs under her breath at how horrified Rumi sounds. "I mean, it's not that scary. It's only a 7 out of 10 on the scare factor on their website." 7 out of 10 is crazy. Oh my god, funniest person ever. Um, Wait. Mira pauses for a moment to digest that information. They take a sharp right as she asks incredulously, "This is a horror? Stop right there, the worker commands. No, Zoe's nose nearly bumps into Rumi's back. He repeats the same instructions he gave them in the briefing room. Then he claps his hands and says, "All right, good luck. And remember that an escape room is all about teamwork. Three's a crowd, but never here. Have fun." He slips away the moment Zoe opens her eyes. They're in a dark, very dark hallway. It's a hotel themed hallway, too. It's already giving her the creeps, and she starts to realize that, hey, maybe they really should have checked the reviews on this room before booking it. Then the TV crackles to life above them, and all three of them scream. They press up against each other, holding each other's arms to keep steady. It plays an instruction video to the storyline about an old woman haunting a hotel and causing it to be abandoned, and that they were hired to cleanse it before a company does a grand reopening of the place. Rumi and Mira are the first to let go of each other when they realize that they're still holding each other's arms. It's not surprising. "Look, our first mission," Zoe says happily, pointing at the four-digit lock on the door next to her. They'll probably have to enter the next room to continue. "I'm going to punch that woman in the face if she tries to," Mira grumbles. "Do you want to be kicked out? They told us not to touch the actor," Rumi asks, is exasperated. "So glad that you'd rather die in a confined space than be scolded and kicked out of somewhere," Mira says dryly. Zoe walks up to a picture of a bunch of chairs on the wall and rubs her chin in thought. Behind her, Mira and Rumi are bickering about a newspaper clipping framed on the wall. She's too deep in thought about the picture of the chairs to really care about their bickering too much. Besides, she knows that they're practically defanged at this point. "We can try 1842," Rumi says, tapping a number on the newspaper. "It's the date this newspaper was published. Maybe it's this one." "You really think that they'd give us the code that obviously?" Mira asks with a snort. "Well, do you have any other ideas?" Rumi snarks, and she takes a short couple steps over to stand next to Zoe to try and put the code in. She tugs on the lock with a grin. It doesn't budge. Her grin drops dramatically. Zoe is too busy staring at the poster of the chairs to give Rumi any consolation, but she giggles under her breath. "See, what did I tell you?" Mira says flatly. "It's too obvious." "Then you try," Rumi shouts, throwing her hands up in frustration. Mira walks over and pulls a bobby pin out of her hair. She starts to fiddle with the key lock, and Rumi growls. "That's cheating! You're literally cheating! Stop it! You're going to get us kicked out if you don't." "It's fine," Mira insists. "I think you should stop too, Mira," Zoe says lightly. "They're gonna give us a warning." "Okay," Mira says instantly. She takes the bobby pin out of the keyhole, and Rumi gives her a glare. But before they can catfight it out again, Zoe points at the giant picture of the abhorrent amount of chairs and says, "Hey, do you guys notice that the chairs are piled up in a certain way?" Rumi's glare drops, and she cranes her neck to stare at the picture. "What?" Mira squints. She leans closer in, and she slowly says, "I mean, yeah, I think you're right. There's three chairs stacked up in this corner, and seven in that corner," Rumi mumbles, almost to herself as she points. "Then four and eight in the bottom two," Zoe finishes, the excitement coming up her voice. She bounces on her heels and inputs the numbers. The first combination doesn't work, and Rumi mumbles something behind her, and she tries the reverse order. She can feel both of them breathing down her neck. They're practically looming behind her, with Mira's hand gentle and innocent on her waist, and Rumi's fingers sliding over her bare shoulder. It makes her shiver. Her neck flushes with warmth. Thankfully, her mind is too preoccupied with reversing the numbers to think too deeply about that. And then she was like, "Oh, they don't care about me. Then no one like me. No one. thinks of me like that. Girl. The lock clicks. All three of them cheer, and Zoe tugs it off the door. They push through, and Rumi yelps. Zoe rocks backwards in surprise when she sees it too. Mira laughs hard, and she sashays into the room and picks up the plastic hand of the decayed dummy laying on the hotel bed. You're scared of a mannequin? She asks incredulously. She waves her hand at Rumi. Rumi glares at her disapprovingly, and Mira pitches her voice up to mock. You're scared of me, Mr. Fake and Plastic Body? Wow, Rumi, that's so. Okay, knock it off, Zoe warns, but she exhales out a quick laugh under her breath before she pinches Mira lightly on the arm. I need the two of you to lock in. We have an hour and 54 minutes left to escape. And if we don't get that we escaped photo, I'm going to kill you both. Got it? Get their asses. So we have a line break over here, and we're almost halfway through the chapter. Maybe we will finish before 3:30 a.m. But Zoe is the focus for the both of them. Ugh. Crisscross applesauce. Water break. Thank you. Thank you, Rooms. I'm feeling fine right now because because Jamie does this thing where he is like, oh my god, I'll give you some fluff and make you forget about the angst. And I'm like, Jamie, when I get you. But yeah, I'm chilling right now. Water refill? I probably should. What's the name of this fake? This is Gimme That Candyfloss. Are there some people who are listening to this with no context of Candyfloss at all? Because that's crazy. It's manipulation from Jamie. Artie, yeah, you should. But that's so far. The kitchen is so far, Rose. I'll bring the water. Everyone, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back with water. You hear where it hurts, 'cause I'm giving you the bullets. I feel normal about that song. I have yet to properly read Two's Company and Give Me That Candyfloss. That's crazy. And you're joining this live? This is chapter 13 of Candyfloss. Go away. Go away if you don't want it ruined for you. Like, there's some very crazy spoilers in this one. And Zoe just wants them to kiss on makeup and watch them do so. No, like, literally, Zoe is like, now kiss. Thank you. I wanna sing In Another World so bad. Like, I have to do a cover. I hadn't heard it till today. Oh my god. That damn locket. Wait, Salty? Did Salty like binge Candyfloss? Oh, salty, salty, salty. Sorry, I'm checking my Twitter notice. Okay, we're back. We're back, y'all. Definitely spoilers. You should girl follow your dreams even if it's just a little cover. No, I do want to. I want to do a cover of like Number One Girl as well. Like yeah, like oh my god. I really, really want to do a cover of In Another World though, because EJ's voice, like her range is so similar to mine. I feel like, and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I can sing like EJ. No, like I do think EJ's a better singer than me, but like we do have a similar range in that like I have very low lows and I can go to very high highs. But yeah, I just need the Avatar AU to update. I haven't been following the Avatar AU at all. I know that's like a lot of people's cup of tea. I have no Avatar info at all. I have never seen Avatar, so he just was honestly something incredible. It's literally like, yeah. If I go to bed, is it possible to rewatch this later? I've never used TikTok till right now. Um, I mean, I save all my archive all my streams on YouTube, and you can get to hear me speaking into this microphone over here. Um, so yeah, it will be on YouTube if you have to sleep. You can let me read you to sleep. I fell asleep to I fell asleep to Sunny reading chapter 1 of Candyfloss yesterday on Twitter Space. So it is if you want to fall asleep to it. Avatar Blue People. This is the Avatar Blue People AU. I know Avatar The Last Airbender. Don't get me wrong. This is Avatar Blue People. I don't know about Avatar Blue People. Yeah. Okay. So after the line break, we are shifting to a Mira POV. So let's go. Same Artie. It was awesome. I was having so much fun. I was like, no, I can just I get to listen to someone else read these words to me. I'm like, this is awesome. Okay, got it. Mira grumbles under her breath, and she drops the plastic arm. Rumi already has her back turned to her, rubbing her chin as she inspects something on the wall. There's 7 random letters above hooks, and Rumi gives one a quick test tug. It pulls downwards, another puzzle for them to solve. Mira looks around the room. She notices a boombox in the corner, but it's all that she notices before Zoe exclaims, "Look!" They turn around to see what Zoe's pointing at. She has her finger right on the dummy laying on the fake hotel bed. Yeah, what? Mira asks curiously. There's nothing on his face that she thinks that they can use, unless the escape room requires them going all Saw style and they need to cut off his foot or something to use as a key in the next room. That would be gnarly. That sounds pretty awesome, TBH. But Zoe gives her a fond roll of the eyes and she explains, "Look at the blanket, silly. There's faint drawings on it." The 3 of them lean in to take a closer look. Zoe's right about the markings. She can see very faint marks on the blanket, which she hadn't noticed because of the quill patterns on it. Their black marker dotted faintly across the span of the blanket. There's about 4 different lines from what she can tell, as well as weird looking squibbles that look like gibberish. Oh, Mira says, raising her eyebrows. She grabs a handful of the blankets to yank off the dummy. We just need to fold it. She folds it like she would any blanket. It's a few quick folds, and she holds her chin high in pride as she does it. Maybe being forced to learn how to fold her blanket at 4 years old by a master blanket folder was worth it after all. So we got a rock paper scissors coach and a master blanket folder. Mira getting trained in the most niche things imaginable. Like first it was the rock paper scissors coach, now it's a blanket folding coach. What, girl? What? It's the funniest thing ever. I love it so much. I love the bit. I One thing about me is I love a bit. These don't sound fake at all. No, they don't, Rome's. Why would they sound fake? Okay. But the markings are still wonky. You need to fold it along the lines, doofus, Rumi says with a snort. Mira turns to look at her sharply. Nose flaring, she asks, "Doofus? Did you really just call me a... Isn't that what you are?" Rumi challenges. Mira almost reels back in surprise. "Guys!" Zoe whines. "Don't worry, I won't choke her for saying that," Mira says distastefully. Yet. Rumi rolls her eyes, but she doesn't engage with the rest of the bickering. She takes the blanket and folds it along the first line, then the second, and Zoe helps guide her through the other folds. Mira helps put together the last fold. The blanket is folded weirdly at the end, and the back of her mind itches to fix it. But she sees that the once gibberish markings on the blanket have turned into four numbers. Mira takes a quick look around the room. Next to the bed is a dial padlock. Bingo. She crouches by the drawer and calls out, "Numbers!" Zoe smooths out the blanket and Rumi leans in to read. It's 7815. Mira jabs her tongue into her cheek and fiddles with the dial. She can feel Zoe and Rumi walking over to watch. Their perfumes mingle in her nose. The combination is nice. The sweetness of Zoe's scent and the power from Rumi's smells like something she wouldn't mind being addicted to. I wonder if this is symbolic for what is about to wink, 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 wink. Oh, sorry. I love being silly. The lock pops open. Inside the drawer is a cassette tape. They take it over to the boombox in the corner and it crackles to life. Mira braces for something scary. Instead, it's piano keys. It's not a song either. The piano keys feel out of order, and there's an odd pause in between. Mira phantom plays each key in the air with a finger. Habit from being made to play the piano for hours on end as a child. Sorry. The piano got mentioned, and the first thing I think about is Solar's animatic to number one girl. I'm crashing out bad. I'm crashing out bad. Good night, Mark. Okay. Jesus. Rumi walks around the room to look for something that they can use. But Zoe drops down to the floor and pushes Mira's knees apart. Startled, Mira almost falls over. She braces herself against the dresser behind her, but the sight of seeing Zoe. What are you doing, Zoe? The sight of seeing Zoe kneel down between her legs. What? Mira calls out, panicked. She definitely doesn't sound cool and nonchalant, but that doesn't really matter right now. Zoe looks at her through her eyelashes, eyes wide with innocence. She tilts her head at Mira in confusion, and she explains, "I asked if you could move so I could try opening the small drawer between your legs, but you didn't say anything." Mira doesn't really know what she's saying. The only thing on her mind is the want to put her hand on Zoe's cheek to caress it, and to slide her hand on the back of Zoe's head. And I think she was too busy trying to figure out what notes were playing to notice. Rumi volunteers behind her, but the amusement is evident in her voice. Mira locks eyes with Rumi. Rumi looks down at Zoe, still crouched between her legs, and she looks back up at Mira with a smirk. Mira gives her a hard glare, but it's not as malicious as she wanted it to be. Zoe is too distracting for her to channel that kind of energy. Disgruntled, Mira gets out of the way so that Zoe can open the drawer. The drawer contains a laminated sheet of paper. It's taped down, so the two of them have to deal with crouching next to Zoe to read what it has to say. It's a diagram of some kind. It reminds her of those note trees that her piano teacher gave to her to learn the difference between whole notes and 16th notes. Except instead of notes, it has letters that drop down to other letters until they end at bolded letters at the very bottom. Mira reads through the notes under her breath. C, D, E, F. She raises her eyebrows. Folding her arms over her chest, she tells them they're music notes. Well, that's obvious, considering she's stuck in a room with a music major and a literal pop star, but she felt like contributing to the conversation. Rumi's head snaps up to the boombox sitting on the dresser. It's still playing the notes, cycling every couple minutes after a long pause. Then she points back at the diagram in the drawer and adds excitedly, and most of the ones at the bottom aren't notes, which means that they're spelling out what they're spelling out what we have to pull down on the hooks. Zoe finishes happily, craning her head over her shoulder to look at the 7 random letters and their hooks. Mira frowns at the diagram. But what the hell is the arrows for? A piano note plays, then pauses, then plays another. In her head, she translates them. D, then a C sharp. And of course she has perfect pitch because Mira. Mira has to have everything. Mira has perfect pitch too, guys. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Zoe smacks her forehead. Oh, duh! She pushes her finger against the first arrow pointing downwards. It's if the notes are going up or down half a semitone. Easy peasy shit. Mira almost laughs to herself. She wonders if the escape room workers are having fun, realizing that they just unleashed hell by making a rich daughter forced to play 15 instruments as a child, a talented future music producer, and a pop star do a hard music puzzle. Rumi starts to sing the notes to confirm. She freezes midway. She gestures to Mira and says, "You sing it." "What? Why?" Mira asks suspiciously. "Because you have perfect pitch." Rumi deadpans. "Is that it? Or is it because you miss when I would sing with you?" The back of Mira's mind whispers, and she almost slams her face against the wall to make it stop. What a stupid thing to think right now. It's probably the pressure of the clock ticking down that's getting to her. This is me looking at Mira like, girl. Sorry, I heard my room. Sorry, if you haven't seen Dee and Jamie's cover of Number One Girl on the official wait, no, on the whole no, the dispatch, not the whole moon. The dispatch roleplay account posted a cover of them singing Number One Girl, and it's supposed to be like Rumi and Mira singing together. It's really gorgeous. Not whole moon. Cade, no. Cade, no. No, 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 no. We're not getting into this. It's dispatch. It's dispatch. Surprisingly, the better news source. Okay, anyways, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it like after this or right now or whenever. It's really good. No, 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 no. We're not talking about Home Moon TV right now. We're not talking about it. No, 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 no. We're gonna keep going. Ooh, yeah, Zoe exclaims, pressing her hands together. She turns around to look at Mira with that gorgeous smile. It's always nice hearing Mira sing. You don't do it enough, she accuses. Chuckling, Mira answers, all you have to do is ask, Zumi. Your voice went nicely with mine and Rumi's anyway. Her mind thinks, and she, once again, has to hold herself back from hitting the wall or taking the boombox and slamming it over her head, whichever comes first. She distracts herself by humming the notes for Zoe. It's no surprise that they finish finding all 7 letters in a minute and a half. It would have been under a minute if Zoe hadn't gotten distracted by humming the notes to herself and mumbling, nice beat. Listen, Zumi is my roomie. Oh, sounds like Rumi. It's Mira who's relegated to pulling down each lever one by one. F, then O, then R, until it spells forgive. Happy late forgive your ex day. Katie, you don't have to go insane. I've pointed out that account before. Anyways, happy forgive your ex day because forgive your ex day is no, no, it's not. Guys, don't call your ex unless you're like unless you're chill, you know. Oh, Okay, okay, let's keep going. um, I'm just joking because like it was Forgive Your Ex Day like last week, a few days ago. I don't remember. I don't know how time works. I don't remember when Forgive Your Ex Day was, but it was very funny when everyone was talking about it on the TL. Anyway, um, it spells forgive. A small hatch on the door next to Rumi opens up with a booming creak. She yelps. Mira cackles about it for half a second before Zoe shuns her with a look. She doesn't regret it though. They have to crawl on their hands and knees to get through. Having a face full of Zoe's ass wasn't on her agenda when she woke up this morning, but it's a nice surprise nonetheless. Mira, get your shit together. Mira. um The next room is small. It's built like a quaint shed, with the left side housing a suspicious gate with nothing but darkness beyond it. And pressed up against the right corner are children's block letters. There's 5 slots. Mira sighs. Let me guess. We have to spell. What? Don't like it? What? Don't like it because you cheated on all your English tests? Rumi shoots back. I don't like it because I don't see the point in doing things like playing Wordle every day. Mira shoots back. It's a waste of time. Rumi gasps in offense. Rumi Wordle fanatic confirmed. Zoe slaps her hand over Rumi's mouth before she can respond. Lock in, remember? She tells them, exasperated. She gestures to the table. Let's just spell as many things as we can. Mira starts first with her head high. She spells out loser. Rumi messes up the blocks and starts again. Her blocks spell out moron. Mira gives her a hard side glare. Then Zoe pinches them both behind the necks, and they cringe inwards and whine. Acting like kids, Zoe says, exasperated. She takes their blocks to rearrange them herself, and she adds under her breath, You're lucky you're both cute. What? Rumi and Mira say at the exact same time. What? Rumi. What? Zoe parrots. Hey, can one of you hand me that red block over there? And then we have a line break, which means water break for me. Zoe and her fucking children. A single mom who works 2 jobs. God. They're so everything. Sorry, the Locket account texted me. Oh, I'm gonna respond to this real quick. Good night. How much of the roleplay accounts get to see this chapter early? I like how Zoe's holding Rumir as a parent on patrol. Locket's secret text, you say? Oh yeah. Yeah. Cade messaged me being like, say follow Honmun TV on Twitter for the camera, please. Guys, follow it if you want. I was not one of them. I actually don't want them in advance because I don't trust myself. Well, you see, I'm pretty sure none of them got the chapter early. Jamie just told them what's inside. I thought that M and R got the chapter early, though. I feel like at least they got the chapter early. I don't know if Zoe did. Wait, who's the youngest? Stay tuned. Do not give them a question. Do not give them a choice. A yes or yes answer. Honmun TV is currently forcing me to shout them out. Apparently, you have to follow Home on TV. There's no other answer. Artie, good luck. Oh yeah, the big three probably do. I don't know. That would make sense. That would make sense. I tweeted this yesterday, but I'm so curious about the logistics of the ant farm. It's like, how do you guys operate? Who knows what? Jamie gives info to what? To who? It's so fascinating to me. I'm like okay. The dispatch account is called dispatch underscore GTC, I believe. Dispatch GTC. Yeah, it is a bit hard to find. Thank you, Lauren. Or is it? Oh, it's dispatch without the I, right? Yeah. Dispatch without the I underscore GTC on Twitter for the dispatch. And they're the one that posted the number one girl cover. See, Cade, you got your promo in the chat. You didn't even need me. I found. Thank you so much, girl. Hell yeah. Rumi POV time. Rumi reaches for the block first. She almost sticks out her tongue at Mira, but she remembers Zoe's little comment and she holds it back. Acting like kids, she grumbles to herself. They aren't acting like kids. They're acting how most people would in this situation. Zoe's face pinches in concentration while she rearranges the blocks. She tries flame first, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Mira looks up at the ceiling and squints, but Rumi's concentrated on the blocks with Zoe. Maybe it's something ghost themed? Rumi suggests, tapping her bottom lip in thought. Like demon? It's 5 letters. Like K-pop demon hunters, you mean? Because this is a K-pop demon hunters fan? Ooh, good thinking, Zoe praises. Rumi beams. Zoe rearranges the blocks again, but demon doesn't do anything. Why would you go for demon? Mira asks, puzzled. There's nothing about this escape room that says there's anything demonic going on. Well, you're allowed to try if you ever feel like contributing to the situation, Mira. Rumi spits, waving at the board in front of them. I am, Mira argues. She points at the ceiling. There's stuff written on the ceiling, but your eyes don't do well in the dark. Yeah, I know, Rumi says with a roll of the eyes. Aw, Rumi, Zoe coos, and both Mira and Rumi turn to look at her in confusion. Zoe bats her eyelashes at Rumi. You remembered she can see in the dark? That's so sweet. It's not sweet, Mira and Rumi exclaim at the same time, which is whatever, Rumi grumbles. She takes a step back from the blocks and cranes her neck up at the ceiling. Squinting, Rumi's eyes search for what Mira's talking about, and she finds it sitting along a corner. It looks like scratch marks from a knife, and Rumi squints at it some more. Rumi relays what's written there to Zoe and Mira. Do thou from Henry IV, she says. Cross. This is so funny because we were literally Jamie and I were talking about Shakespeare in DMs. So this is silly. Okay. She frowns at the blocks. I just don't remember what word they use. Then Zoe snaps her fingers. She pivots on her heel to look at them. Amend! Do thou amend thy face, and I'll amend my life, she cries out. She giggles to herself when Mira and Rumi give her blank looks, and she explains, it's one of my favorite lines. No sicker burn than one from Shakespeare. It's nice for lyrics inspo. And she's right. She's right. Jamie did a cover of Number One Girl, or did I misunderstand something? Because I can't find it. It's on the dispatch account. It's Jamie and D. It's Jamie and D that did the cover. Yeah, I don't. If you search up like, they give them credit, so if you like search up Jamie's name, it should come up like Arsenide. I don't see it. Dispatch infamous for being almost wife. I'll retweet it in a bit if you want inspo. Maybe I should start insulting Shakespeare. I have a book of Shakespeare. Let me pull out my book of Shakespeare insults. The one time I went to the Globe. Where is it? Actually, oh, it's right here. It's right here. Okay, let's pull it up. The Bard's Guide to Abuses and Affronts. He is white-livered and red-faced, Henry V. There is not ugly a fiend of hell as thou shalt be, King John. In civility, thou seemst so empty, as you like it. I love as you like it so bad. Away, you cut-purse rascal, you filthy bung, away. Henry IV, Part 2. Thou art a wickedness, 12th Night. There's a man hath more hair than wit, Comedy of Errors. You are not worth another word, 12th Night. I love that this turned into a little Shakespearean insult session. Mark the fleers, jibes, and notable scorns that dwell in every region of his face, Othello. Yeah. Thou horse and Zed, thou unnecessary letter, King Lear. Thou art so leaky that we much leave thee to thy sinking, Antony and Cleopatra. She is ill met by moonlight, Midsummer Night's Dream. My English isn't this advanced, and even less at almost 3 a.m. but slay. And you know what? Respect. Wait, I did that. That kiss is comfortless as frozen water to a starved snake, Titus Andronicus. Hag of all despite. I'll do a few more and then I'll be back, I swear. I just really like this book. The tartness of his face sours ripe grapes, Coriolanus. His intellect is not replenished. He is only an animal, only sensible in duller parts. Love's labor's lost. Thou elvish marked abortive rooting hog, Richard III. Okay. I'm gonna put that over here. Honpatch is everywhere for those with eyes to see. Honpatch is everywhere. Honpatch is everywhere. Go Honpatch. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, we got here because Mira said, maybe I should start insulting Rumi and Shakespearean then. Mira snarks. She turns around to face Rumi with a curved smile. Hey, Rumi. Ow! Ow! She rubs the side of her cheek. Zoe had just pinched it. Rumi guffaws, but she swallows it back when Zoe turns to look at her too. I thought I was gonna burp, sorry. Oh. Okay. Rumi and Mira lean in quietly to watch Zoe rearrange the blocks. She turns some of the blocks to find the right letters, and Rumi reaches over her shoulder to find the M. Mira switches around the M and E. As soon as Zoe places down the last block, the lights go out. Rumi spins around just in time to see everything behind the gate light up, a dark hallway with someone in white standing at the very end of it. She has a vice grip on Zoe so tight that her hands get numb. And then the person sprints towards them. Scary as hell. Rumi has never screamed that loud in her life. Her ears are popping too, from dual screams coming on either side of her, with Zoe's high-pitched yells and Mira's shouts of alarm. Mira's back presses against her face, her arms out to hold Zoe and Rumi behind her. She can practically feel Mira trembling from her knees, and yet she holds steady to protect them. The person in white runs right into the gate and shakes it violently. The lights above them are flashing, and Rumi still screaming and screaming. From what little she can tell, with Mira's back shielding her mostly from view and the harsh lighting making it hard to see, the person shaking the gate is a woman. A woman screeching right at them. Then the lights cut out completely. Rumi's grip never loosens on Zoe's shoulder. She'll have to apologize for how hard she's holding her later, but right now she's fearing for her life for the first time ever. Then the lights come back up, and the gate has swung open. The woman is nowhere to be seen. Ow! Zoe whines. Rumi lets go of her shoulder. Panicked, she exclaims, Zoe, I'm so sorry. I didn't. No, no, you're good. Zoe answers quickly, shaking her head. She grimaces. Rumi finally notices that she's rubbing her chest. You okay? Mira murmurs. A soothing hand on Zoe's arm. She glances up at Rumi too, and Rumi wonders if she's talking to them both. Fine, I'm fine. This is nothing, Zoe assures her. She lets her hand drop and she takes a tentative step forward to check out what's beyond the gate. You should see how loud I screamed when I went into my last horror escape room. This is the last time we're doing a horror themed escape room, Rumi whines. Mira snorts. You should have you should have heard how loud you screamed though. You should have heard how loud you, Rumi snaps. We get it! You're both loud! Like that's ever been a surprise! Zoe exclaims, taking them both by the hands and dragging them with her towards the open hallway. Rumi has no idea what Zoe's talking about. So does she know? So sorry that I'm screaming into this microphone, but I'm like, so does she know? Uh cool. Cool. A little birdie told her. Okay. Halfway down the hallway, a loud blast of cold air hits Rumi in the back of the neck. She jumps and screams and bumps right into Mira's chest. Mira's arms wrap around her, tight and warm. Reflex. Most likely reflex. Mm-hmm. 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 Very much most likely reflex, judging from the fact that Rumi had hugged her back and pressed her face into the crook of her neck. Mira still smells like she always did. Still smells like the way she did at the charity fundraiser where they met. Sweet, with that hint of sharp, pink peppers. She can feel the way Mira's chest seizes in surprise, and the way that she breathes in and out, gently and slowly. Rumi lets go of her in an instant. She's grateful that the hallway is so dark because her face must be at least 14 different shades of pink, and she starts to flounder for an excuse. Zoe saves the day by laughing and musing. See, that's why I like being in the back of the group. Stuff like that happens. You you don't think that woman's going to chase us sometime soon, do you? Rumi strains out. Mira is awfully quiet. She would have normally snarked something about Rumi being a scaredy cat by now, but she doesn't. Well, they did tell me to wear good running shoes, Zoe muses. Zoe, that isn't helping, Rumi whines. I'm just saying, it's a good warning, Zoe whines back. Then Zoe falls to her knees in front of Rumi, and Rumi nearly faints for the second time in a 10-minute span. Mira laughs until she coughs into her fist, and Rumi hears her mumble something like, Now you know how it feels. Zoe's not doing anything nefarious, as Zoe would put it, down there at least. She's just tugging at Rumi's laces, pulling them apart and retying them to tighten her shoes up. It's an incredibly sweet gesture, and Rumi almost faints again, from swooning this time, rather than from heart attack. Zoe pats her last foot and looks up at her. She smiles, and Rumi almost clutches her heart. There, Zoe says sweetly. She rises back to Rumi's eye level, bouncing on her feet, then adds, Now you won't trip if we need to run. Good? Mm-hmm. Is the only thing that make it out of Rumi's mouth. Zoe beams at her one last time, then makes her way down to the end of the hallway to make a sharp left turn. She exclaims something about another puzzle, but Rumi hangs back to catch her bearings. Mira does too. Rumi braces for another joke, something that will indubitably piss her off, probably. But Mira just gives her a light jab in the upper ribs, and she laughs under her breath. Even in the near darkness, Rumi can see that light, see that light, teasing sparkle in her eyes. She's making fun of her, but not in the way that makes it sting. Camaraderie, if Rumi had to call it something. Camaraderie when it comes to Zoe's antics. Oh my god, Rome's. Oh my god, Rome's. Oh my god, Rome's. Thank you, Rome's. Rumi rolls her eyes and mumbles, Whatever. She forges ahead of Mira, but at least she doesn't come out of interacting with Mira with a bruised ego. It's the first time in a while that they've really stood side by side without clawing each other's eyes out. The next room has them squishing against one another. It looks like a small abandoned bedroom, and there's a VHS tape waiting for them to play. It's only a 15-second clip, flashing with the different colors that confuse all three of them. They look around mindlessly for what to do. They manage to pop open a drawer after a short decryption of a Caesar cipher, and all three of them recoil back in disgust. The drawer is full of murky blood. Rumi leans in with a wrinkled nose. Is that real? Zoe leans in with her, then breathes out a sigh of relief. Chuckling, she answers, Nah, it's fake blood. You can tell from how thick it looks. You usually make fake blood with corn syrup or glycerin, so. Plus, it's not clotting. Rumi and Mira arch identical manicured eyebrows at her. What? Zoe groans. I guess, what? Zoe groans. How do you know that? Mira asks her curiously. The twitch of the corner of her mouth gives away her amusement. And can you tell us more? Rumi shoots her a nasty glare, but Mira ignores it. So does Zoe. Well, you can make fake blood at home if you want to, Zoe hums. Like 2 tablespoons of cocoa, 4 tablespoons of corn syrup, and a third of a cup of warm water with red food dye. She counts them off from her fingers. It also tastes pretty good, and Ginu told me that it was cheaper than real blood. Mira and Rumi nod along. Mira's grinning, but Rumi looks a little wary, but still determined to be enthusiastic. What does it taste like? Mira asks gleefully. Rumi makes a face, but she slowly admits, I'm kind of curious too. Does it taste sweet? Bitter? There's a line break. Guys, did Jamie put this in for me? Did Jamie put this in for me? I know that Jamie put in something there. I know that Jamie put in something there because M was like, "Oh, there's a little surprise for you in this chapter. There's a little surprise for you." Did Jamie do this for me? Because if you guys didn't see, I made a tweet. Actually, I'm gonna make a tweet right now. Before I even read it, I'm gonna make a tweet. Oh, 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 is Jamie here? Is Jamie here? Jamie? Jamie, I'm looking at you. Um, okay, did, eh, Oh, Jamie, Jamie, Jamie was like, I can't wait for Artie to write her little fanfic. I'm gonna do it for her. I am so happy. I am so happy. Thank you, Jamie. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I I told this. Jamie must have seen it. Um, like a week, was it a week ago or like a few days ago? God. It was October 12th? So a week ago? Something. I don't know. I don't remember dates. Anyways, about a week. Okay, about a week ago. I I witnessed the moment. I witnessed the moment of someone tasting fake blood off of someone. I witnessed this moment and I was like, wait, I can make my girls do this. I'm calculating. Jamie, I love you so bad. Jamie, I love you bad. And everyone got on my ass because I said that the blood tasted like mint. But that's what the person said. I witnessed this moment, and the guy went like, "Oh, do you want to taste it? It tastes like mint." And so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stick to that," even though I know that fake blood can taste different. Like, and everyone got on my ass for making it taste like mints. Like, just you wait, Artie. Just you wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Listen, um, I do know that a lot of fake blood tastes like chocolate. I mean, in here it's like cocoa, so it's gonna taste like chocolate. Um, I got Salty was like, "Oh, you should make it taste like cherry," and I was like, "Wait, that's a good idea." But chocolate works. You're gonna love this. I know I will. I am so excited. I am like, you don't even know. You don't even know how excited I am. Jamie is. I'll read that. Actually, let me read it. Let me because yeah. um because I God. What did did I just like put it in as a like screenshot in my maybe I'll do it later. Maybe I'll do it. Just know that that's something that I imagined up and I like kind of cooked up a little like summary of what happens. It's just basically Rumi being an actor and Rumi gets covered in fake blood. And Mira and Zoe are like, "Well, you can take a shower or we can clean it up for you." So I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. The thought of covering Mira and Rumi in fake blood and licking it up hits Zoe so fast in the face that her knees almost buckle. Maybe she should have gone to that confession booth and repented with her high school friend after all. It's sweet, yeah, Zoe answers, voice high as she nods her head. She clears her throat. Anyway, time limit. Zoe shivers to herself as she watches the fake blood slosh in the drawer. I'm guessing one of us has to stick our hand in there. Can one of you do it? I can. Rumi and Mira volunteer at the same time. Zoe sighs in exasperation. I was going to say I'm a little queasy with blood, even if it's fake. Real blood makes me queasier, though. Ugh. She makes a face. Sometimes she's grateful that she never had to go through with the fake her death by covering herself in fake blood to make them work together idea. That was her plan Z if every other plan went wrong. I can still do it. Mira volunteers, chin high. Zoe holds out a fist as a sign for rock, paper, scissors. Mira sighs. She turns to Rumi, and they duke it out with a quick best 2 out of 3 game. Mira wins, as she always does. Zoe still doesn't know how she does that. Mira rolls up a sleeve and fishes in the fake blood. Both Zoe and Rumi look away in disgust. Mira pulls out a key from the fake blood drawer, and the escape room workers were kind enough to leave a towel next to the locked door for Mira to dry herself on. The puzzle that Zoe points out to them is a small graveyard. There's candles set out in the middle. It takes them a while, but they figure out that they need to unscramble some of the names written on the headstones. A hatch underneath one of the headstones pops open and it reveals a short poem in Atbash cipher code. I love that I know all of what all these ciphers mean because I was a Gravity Falls kid. So I'm like, "Oh, I know what that means." Zoe translates the poem to them. The three of them need to confess a secret out loud to please the spirits. I can go first, Zoe says excitedly. She inhales deep and she shouts out, I like making Mira walk in front of me sometimes because I like staring at her ass. Of course. Alarmed, Mira whips her head. Zoe, what? What? Zoe whines. I could have said something like, sometimes I think about changing my name to Zoloft so that Rumi needs to take me instead. One of the candles lights up. There's two more left. Zoe giggles. Zoe giggles to herself and she smiles sheepishly at Mira. She's not sorry for that, but she is sorry that it's making Rumi glare at her like she wants to throttle Mira to death, as if she hadn't already gushed about all of her Rumi albums. So, who's next? Zoe asks casually, pointing between them. Mira and Rumi share a look. Even when they're still mad at each other, they seem to read each other like open books in 20-point bold font. It makes Zoe wants to it makes Zoe want to coo. I guess I can go, Rumi says, a little exasperated. She steps forward to peer at the candles and the blank headstone. She thinks to herself for a moment. Then she admits, actually, never mind. I don't think I have anything. Mira snorts. Zoe elbows her in the side. Take your time, Zoe assures her. She tries to rack her mind for Rumi to admit. This should be easy for her. She's been a fan of Rumi's for so long that she should have an entire scroll of rumors to ask her to clear up. But Rumi has been nothing but truthful to her for the past few weeks, and she's practically been given every nugget of information that she could ever want and then some. She even found out what happened with her absence from the Isaac a couple of years ago, seasickness from taking a yacht to Greece the day prior. Greece, you say? Greece, you say? Greece. Cool. Awesome. But then the light bulb goes off over her head. She snaps her fingers, and Rumi and Mira slide over to her curiously. What did you do after you heard me? Zoe asks. Rumi frowns in confusion, but Mira starts to choke on air. She clarifies. Zoe, you are crazy. Last week, when we were playing Minecraft and the two of you felt guilty and told me that you, she coughs into her fist, heard me in my room. Okay. Rumi's face slowly morphs into quiet horror. I thought you told us never to talk about that again, Rumi demands, her voice squeaking. I did, Zoe insists, her face warming. Yeah, she did. And she told them that if they ever brought it up again, that she would open her window and jump out. But something about the pressure and thrill of being in an escape room and the few days of getting to walk through the stuff about it is making her too curious for her own good. Namely, she's curious as to why they never told her what they did afterwards. Logically, they probably left the call as soon as they realized and texted each other to form a plan to tell Zoe without embarrassing her and then moved on. But still, curiosity kills the cat. And satisfaction throws it back, or whatever the hell the phrase is. Mira explains, voice flat. We left the call and texted each other about how to tell you without having you jump out a window. That's all. Yeah, Rumi says, her voice still high. Can't that be my secret for this? The candles don't do anything. Zoe shrugs at her in pity. What do the candles know? What do the candles know? What? Either you're not telling the truth, Zoe muses. We are! Rumi blurts out, bobbing her head up and down. Mira, for once, says nothing. Interesting. Why do I feel like Zoe set this all up? I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. Zoe is a very smart person. What else did you text each other? Zoe asks curiously, looking back and forth between them. That I hope she got into a plane crash on the way back to Korea. Mira deadpans. Zoe whines. Mira, the time limit! She doesn't point out the fact that they're making really good time for an escape room like this, but they don't have to know that anyway. Mira shrugs and waves her hand towards Rumi's general direction. She wanted to tell the next secret, so don't look at me. Ask her what she texted. I didn't text you, Rumi spits. Zoe frowns. But I thought you two said it was just a few texts, Rumi says quickly. I don't consider them real texts. Zoe tilts her head at them. They can be so confusing sometimes. Oh. She thinks about it for a moment, then asks slowly, "Oh, so did one of you knock on the other person's door to talk through the rest?" She wishes. Mira mumbles. Excuse me? Rumi snaps. I said. Mira snarks to snark. And she did. And she did. Mm-hmm. 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 Triangulation of desire. Triangulation of desire. Guys, time limit! Zoe says in exasperation. She gives Mira a hard look first, who looks away in shame, and she directs it back to Rumi. Just pick a random secret that you've never said out loud and move on. Rumi looks up at the ceiling to think, looking slightly panicked by the way she's licking her lips and darting her eyes around. Then something seems to dawn on her a couple of seconds later, and her face of panic turns into quiet resignation. Mira chuckles under her breath. This is gonna be good. Mira drawls. Rumi swallows. The rumors from 2018 are true. She hides her face in embarrassment. Zoe leans in and strains her ear. There's a breath of rumors that go through her head. Was it true that she secretly dated that one guy from Venom Nom? Did she actually get a DUI? Is Celine her actual mother? Did she? I tried a weed gummy. Rumi blurts out, eyes wide like she just told them she committed murder. Mira and Zoe glance at each other. The second candle lights up. Rumi, my dearest, darlingest Rumi. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rumi mumbles, red in the face and shame written all over. Zoe rubs her back with a smile to soothe her. She doesn't know whether admitting to her that she takes 2 weed brownies before every final would help her or exacerbate it. 2 weed brownies is crazy. Your turn, Mira, Zoe says lightly. This is stupid, Mira complains, hands still tightly crossed against her chest. I could just say whatever I want and it'll light up. It's not like the workers know that I'm lying. I'm an excellent liar. Zoe shrugs. Then lie about something. Mira thinks. Then she lies out loud. I actually really love my brother, Minho. Come on, Mira. Everyone knows that's not true. The candle doesn't light up. No shit. That's so silly. Um Mira tries again. I really like the milk and Pepsi drink that Zoe made for me last week. The candle still doesn't light up. You didn't like it? Zoe asks, offended. Rumi, did you like it? It was all right, Rumi answers, shrugging helplessly. Mira huffs. She walks up to the candle and crouches by it, and she shouts, sometimes I change up my accent when I talk to new people and switch midway to see them freak out. Nothing happens. I used to practice kissing on the back of my hand when I was a teenager. Nope. I cried to a K drama last month. I like doxing Zoe's haters when I see them in the chat. I called my attendant to check on top of the bathroom shelf, and my pajamas were there, and I was going to hide them anyway so Rumi wouldn't have the last word. The candle still won't light up. Mira throws her hands up in disbelief. What? She points at it accusingly and looks back at the two of them. Rumi and Zoe are actively trying not to laugh. Rumi is managing better than Zoe. Kong attendant mention. Let's go. We love Kong attendant. We love Kong attendant. Rumi is managing better than Zoe, whose lips are pressed so tight to keep together from laughing that her cheeks are puffed out. Those are all truths, Mira insists. They're just playing with me. It has to be a secret, Zoe explains carefully. High tech. Oh, God. Those don't count as secrets? Mira asks in disbelief. Rumi admits, I don't think those are hard to guess, Mira. Just just tell a secret or something you've never asked before, Zoe exclaims before Mira can chew Rumi out. Anything will work, Mira. It doesn't have to be super weird, you know? It can just be something fun, like mine. Fine. Mira throws her hands up. She looks at Zoe and asks with that drawl of a joke, but so strained that Zoe almost stumbles on nothing. Nahante shijib ole? Nahant oh god. Oh my god, I cannot. Me when Jamie writes in other languages and I'm like, Nahante shijib ole? Um, Zoe can see Rumi's jaw tick out of the corner of her eye. How her chest hitches and freezes entirely. Did she just ask, do you know what's in the locket? Don't translate it. The notes says it at the end. Please don't translation. Ore. Nante shijibore. Okay. I my guess is, do you know what's in the locket or something like that? Like, or have you checked the locket? Is my guess. I'm not translating. I'm just putting out theories. Mira, time limit. Zoe squeaks. I know. Mira grumbles under her breath. She pouts to herself. But then she sighs and quietly says, I like it whenever Zoe calls me sweetheart. The third candle lights up. The headstone glows and it tells them to pop open one of the headstones next to Rumi's leg. Rumi's already on it, but her hand slips on the headstone. Her fingers are trembling a little. Zoe spins around to look at Mira. You like it when I. That was a lie. I told you I was a good liar, Mira says quickly. And Zoe laughs under her breath. Sure, whatever she wants to believe. Mira gets up on her feet and helps Rumi pluck off the headstone. With 30 minutes left on the clock, they blaze through the rest of the puzzles. They pluck some keys from a small compartment under the stone, and they rush over to a door that leads them to another small room. There, Zoe and Rumi end up crawling on the floor to look under the table. Both end up hitting their heads on the top. Sorry, I just had a thought. Someone should someone should create a roleplay account for the candles. Candle roleplay account. Oh god. Um Predictable of them. I'll do so. Yes. Predictable of them, but Zoe didn't expect how painless that bonk on the head felt. She crawls out from below the table to look around and see Mira taking out both of her reddening hands, a grimace on her face. Mira puts her hands on top of their heads to keep them from hurting under the table. Zoe makes sure to thank her with a kiss on the cheek. Another puzzle has them needing to press 3 buttons at the same time, spread out across a long hallway. They have to shout at each other to get the timing right, but they make it out right. Zoe shows off her skills by quickly translating Morse code and a Caesar cipher to open lockboxes. Mira and Rumi's impressed stares are something she'll keep in the back of her mind to giggle about to herself for the next few months. Or years, if she's being honest. A black light shows them to another scrambled poem. Another room with mannequin heads scares the shit out of Zoe and Mira, who insists she didn't scream, and they end up needing to turn them in the right ways. There's a room with a Ouija board that they need to put their hands on together, and Zoe deliberately makes Mira and Rumi stack their hands onto each other. Fake blood is splattered in a creepy looking bathroom. The only time they ha- the only time they ever have to ask for a hint is when they get stuck in a room with a bunch of old books splattered in more fake blood. Or at least Zoe hopes it's fake blood. And at the end, an elevator shaft opens up. It's small. They cram inside, but it's tight and humid. Zoe's hand ends up on someone's thigh, her back pressed against a warm chest, and she can feel a knee between her legs. It makes her warm. It almost makes her as warm as that night, but she forces it down and down and down. Get your shit together. Warm? Guys, are they warm?